Hi, guys. Welcome back to the Break Room Podcast. And we're joined by our guest, Brett the Cardboard Hart over here.
Yeah.
The best there
Joe,
was.
Joe couldn't make it, so we've got a special guest here.
Yeah,
perfect.
I hunted him down on
We're
a
gonna
little,
do a screw job tonight.
little toy hunt. And I went to a place called Blast from the Past that we visited on the show before. Or as Joe likes to call it, Blast from Your Ass.
That sounds. Oh, there you go. Thanks, Joe.
But I had to get it. It's fucking made out to my name and everything. I saw it in the store.
Well, what
and I
does
was
it
like,
say
you
on
gotta
it?
be
It says
fucking
Robbie-
kidding me. It says,
Robbie, stay cool.
Stay cool. Yeah.
and it
Fucking
says
Bret
Bret
the
Hart,
Hitman Hart.
WWF champion.
Yeah,
right.
this is
Yeah.
this is old school. So I was like, I can't pass this up. So
Damn.
we figured we'd throw him on the show. And
I was saying to
have
Rob,
him
like
join us.
that means that somebody brought that big ass because it's folded up. You can see it's folded,
huge.
but
Yeah.
somebody dragged that thing to a convention or something to have Bret Hart sign it.
Yeah,
I think that's
true, good
crazy.
point.
They did.
Stood
Yeah.
in line.
Imagine walking around with
And
like
now
just
I
a
have
cut out
that.
of Bret Hart.
This is the most 80s basement like you can possibly imagine. I mean, I got the fucking Bret Hart here.
I'm staring
I
at a
got
Ghostbusters fucking
Ghostbusters Proton
right
pack.
now,
I got
so-
fucking Ninja Turtles everywhere. I got
And not
the
even just
Is
any
there
He-Man
mold on
sword
that?
behind
Toy
me.
Is there
one, a
water
replica.
mold on that though?
I don't know.
I think I saw some specks of like black mold on it.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I
On
mean,
that
you know,
thing?
hey, you got it for a good price though.
I got it for
And
$100.
Chris is
$100
even hating on the
$100.
cardboard
It's
Bret
got
Hart.
an
no,
autograph
look at it.
on
You'll
it.
see.
It's
There's
Bret
water
Hart.
damage on it.
For the joke on
But
the
for
show, I
$100,
thought it
that's
was
a good
worth
price.
$100.
Yeah,
So.
$100
I'm
bucks. That's
sure.
a great price, and it's still his autograph.
Yeah, yeah. And like you said,
it's
it
in good
says
shape. It's
WWF,
solid.
so
It's
that's
never
like,
gotten, like,
some old
soaking
school
wet.
shit.
Oh no, it's
No.
not. It's not that damaged.
No.
But you
No,
can
it
see
just
some
probably was in a
speckles.
basement forever, and it's going to be in another basement
basement
forever now.
How old do you think he is in that too? Because I was looking, he looks young.
This is probably
and-
pre-screw job, I would definitely say. Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, he's our special guest.
And Vince
But speaking of
screwed Vince.
wrestling, we got together last Saturday for the Royal Rumble.
Hell yeah.
It was an entertaining Royal Rumble.
I missed the
I'm
men's.
surprised, but then
Yeah.
I wasn't surprised
fuck.
by the end that they actually started with the Rumble this time.
Yeah.
Not
thought
the
that
first
was
time
a
they've done it.
surprising
I saw
move.
it
Not
coming.
happy.
Saw it coming, but
missed
it
it.
does suck that Vin missed it.
Why the
Yeah.
fuck would you lead with that? It would have been way cool. They could have organized
could've
that
started
shit.
with
It's
the
gonna be the
women's,
first
they
match or
could've
the
done
last
anything.
match,
Way
and the
cool,
last
yeah.
match was
Have
the
they
Roman
ever
thing.
started a pay-per-view with a women's match?
It would have been fine.
Yeah.
There was no problem with it. Like,
Think of
who
it this
cares?
way, Vin. It was either they started with that or they started with the Roman and Sammy thing, and you would have missed that. And I think that it was better to
Really?
miss the Rumble, which was kind of predictable.
Yeah, well,
The
okay,
Rumble
then-
itself was
then
not
then
that
it
good.
Absolutely means you open with the women's Rumble. You then do the men's Rumble, and then I really think you should have ended with the men's Rumble.
I don't think they
'cause-
should have two on one night. I
No,
think
that's true. Yeah,
they
why
should
don't
every
do
6
two-part?
months you do the women's and then you do the men's and,
And
the
you
other
could do the
6.
women's Rumble, and then the fucking Roman Reigns thing, and then the next
That
night.
had to end the night, the Roman Reigns thing.
Think so?
Yeah, it
I
was
thought
a
it,
very declarative
I
final.
feel like it's
not
the
a final.
Royal Rumble, and Cody
From
won the
2000.
Royal Rumble, and then it's like, oh, but Roman Reigns again. It's like, all right, I get it. Like, you know, we
Well-
know they're all heading. It's coming to a head there,
Yeah,
but
that's the
it's
thing.
just a little overshadowing. But whatever. I'm upset I missed the fight. I literally came down the stairs, turned the
Yeah.
corner. Cody was like pointing at the WrestleMania thing. I was like, fuck.
I would
That's cool though. I'm glad he won.
I would argue
We
that,
called that shit like a year ago.
the Rumble itself was predictable. We all knew
Yeah.
Cody was going to
Yeah.
win, and we all
Yeah,
wanted him
that's
to
the tough
win.
I heard what's his name was cool too though. Gunther.
Gunther was in there from
the
number one.
longest
Oh,
He's
yeah.
like
he
right?
was-
big.
I think he's got the record for the longest in a Royal
In the Rumble.
yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
He
That's
didn't win
cool.
it, but he
He didn't win, but he made it to the last, you know.
Yeah. And they had at the very end of the match too, like they had a wrestling match for like
And he's in good
don't know
shape.
how long
'cause
they
they
went.
show you like pictures like from the beginning of his career to
he was
like
very
now, and
he was overweight.
he was chubby. He was kind of looked like he was out of shape.
That's
but now-
all in like the past
Not
year or
anymore.
two too.
Not anymore.
He only cut all that like within the past year or two.
Good for him. Yeah. He
But
did a hell of a
they
job.
went for like a good, I don't know, it felt like a good like 10-minute match.
Mm.
Like that was what was so cool is the Rumble match is always like there's a lot of like downtime. There's people just kind of sitting there like pushing on each other, you know, and then they have like a couple of good moments.
And they never
So-
officially eliminated Logan Paul, right?
No, he got
He
eliminated.
definitely got eliminated.
Did he?
Fuck
Yeah,
that
he
guy.
got eliminated by Cody.
Fucking guy.
Oh, that's right.
Well,
His
Logan
brother.
Paul and I
Cool
don't,
move though. Saw the move.
That move was cool.
Ricochet,
You
yeah.
know, not
That's what
a
they call it,
fan, but
Ricochet?
yeah, Ricochet's the other guy. Yeah.
Oh, it was with Ricochet. Okay.
Yeah, Ricochet's the guy he jumped into. Yeah, it was a good.
Actually,
It was
I
a
don't know how
good
they didn't
match.
crack
There
a
wasn't a
rib
lot
doing
of good
that shit.
surprises, but at the same point, it doesn't make sense to bring people back just to lose when you know that Cody's gonna win.
yeah.
So it
True.
really wasn't that
They
phenomenal.
should have
of a Royal
fucking
Rumble
kept it a
itself.
secret, or at least a known secret that Cody was going to come out.
Here's the thing
Should
to
have
that
kept
point.
it under a veil, and everyone, the pop would have been big.
They
still.
did that for
There's no such thing as
WrestleMania
surprises
I remember.
anymore now.
I know.
That
It
was the thing. They already did the
very
WrestleMania
predictable in that
surprise
way.
thing, and I think now it was like, okay, we know he's coming back. Let's instead of trying to do a surprise, let's do a different approach. So I was all right with that.
Now
They
the
didn't
hard
bring-
part is what the narrative will be to Cody winning the belt, because now it almost seems like a foregone conclusion. They're already asking him, like somebody asked actually about him bringing back the
Winged Eagle.
Yeah, the winged eagle right here.
Yeah.
And like
Beautiful.
unifying, he talked about unifying the belt again, and blah blah blah. And I was like, all right, so cool. Like I feel like we're all assuming it now, but how do you make it interesting? Like I know with Roman Reigns, he's got the family there. What's it called again?
The bloodline.
The bloodline. So is Cody going to be putting together a little bit of like a
Well,
group or a thing?
Okay, I see what you're saying. I mean,
Yeah.
the whole thing I think is the bloodline versus the bloodline because they both come from.
The Sami Zayn.
Well,
Is that what
that's
his
a
name
whole
is?
other thing. Let's shelve Sammy for a second.
Gotcha.
The idea of the bloodlines of they're
Shout out
both.
to Gina for calling that, by the way.
Yeah,
She told you.
yeah.
And then you were like, eh. Then
Well,
that happened.
I don't feel like it was really Sammy that betrayed Roman. He didn't screw over Roman. It was like Roman forced him into an inescapable situation. It wasn't like he
they're
dicked him over in the
Clearly
match.
they're looking to make Roman the heel, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And he'll be way better as a heel than as a fucking
Yeah,
as
yeah.
a
Well, it's like,
face.
yeah.
He looks
when
like
they
a
fail
good
as a
bad
face,
guy.
they always make them go heel. It's
Yeah,
just,
and I think
He's been a
that's-
heel.
that'll be engaging because I think the crowd wants Cody to go over.
Yeah.
And we're going to support him, and everybody's going to be behind it. And then it's like if Roman can really be a equal bad to his, to his face, it will be like you'll actually have a good, almost
But the
reminiscent
whole-
of The Rock and Stone Cold.
The whole narrative is,
What?
is going to be
What?
wrapped up in this wrestling family royalty type of thing, the bloodlines, and that Roman Reigns, the bloodline is that they have this family of Samoans that goes back to
Oh, yeah.
Alpha,
Great
Chief
Chief Maivia.
Maivia,
Yep.
all of them, The Rock, they're
It's
all
like
in that
partial
family,
truths.
Yokozuna.
It's
But
true.
then you have the Rhodes bloodline,
Yeah.
which is Dusty and his brother
Old
Dustin. And so
I can see like Rock coming back, and then just
I don't see that happen for a while. I'm glad The Rock didn't. You know what? The Rock
Not
is
for
great. I want
Rumble.
to see him, but they don't need him right now.
What if Rock and Stone Cold had one final match?
I doubt that would happen.
I know, right?
I don't see it
I
being
know.
them two.
I feel like
together.
because it ended so well when it ended, like
And,
why?
and it's also
why
like,
rehash
why
it?
risk injury? Because The Rock has other things going on in his life than wrestling.
not anymore.
He'll be
DC
president
things
one day.
over. He's not fucking.
Well, he's still
Oh
got
my
his
God.
Terramana thing
That
and
was-
his.
I mean, no, I'm just kidding. The Rock's fucking an insane businessman. He's got a lot
He
of.
ran
Got
out of
the
Jungle
XFL
Boy.
coming
lot of
too.
things going. Yeah, he's got the XFL coming up, so it's
think,
I
like,
don't doubt.
very
I would
soon.
never doubt the Rock. Never.
It's
No.
a busy
Bad
man.
bet. It's a
busy,
bad
busy
bet.
man.
But it would be cool to see him come back, but in an interesting way. I see what you're saying. Like you got to make it interesting.
That's good when they don't have anything else going on and they need something interesting. But they have so much going on to wedge The Rock in there just because he's The Rock and he has that drawing power. Like pull that out when you need it. You know what I mean?
gotcha.
Don't
Yeah, makes sense.
they just had The Rock a couple of years ago. They had Stone Cold. Like they really don't
They don't need
need
it. I
either
know.
of those guys.
No, it's better to
boost-
move
They
on.
can't keep
Everyone
depending
wants
on
to see
those guys to
WrestleMania.
keep
In
the
my
product
opinion,
relevant.
it's better
you
to
know?
move on.
Yeah.
It's better to have the new class.
But okay, so moving on from the Royal Rumble, Cody
Oh,
won. We
quick-
knew all that was coming.
Quick funny story. So we work with somebody that went to the Rumble. So
Who?
Will. I don't know if you know Will Reyes.
Oh yeah, Billy. Yeah,
What do you call him Billy?
right.
Call him Will.
They're called Will. Well, either way.
Anyway, so Will got to he actually is able to go
I
to a
didn't know
lot
he was
of these
wrestling
shows.
fan.
So it turns out there's a thing going around the internet that says, does it say Chief Queef? Is that what it said? Did you see the sign?
Oh, where was that?
It was right at the entrance, like right when they came out.
Wasn't it like the tribal queef or something? they
Yeah,
call it?
Tribal
Yeah, yeah,
Queef. So they
my
snuck this
God.
fucking sign in. So Will apparently him and the guys that he went with snuck the sign in.
Oh, that was him.
And they paid a kid to hold it up because they knew they'd get kicked out for doing it.
Right.
But it was like, if you did it at the right time, you were cemented in history.
Yeah.
So he pulled this fucking thing out at like the perfect time. And if you go
God.
online, it's out there. It's just and he told me the story. What they did was they got 2 signs. They got 2 pieces and they slid it in between and just made it like one and then pulled it out. Because they fucking check sign. They it's like a big deal.
They don't even really do look, it's on TV right now. There's not
not a lot of signs. No, I remember.
But I'm
Raw.
glad for that because I mean signs were cool to see when you're watching on TV.
Probably
but if you went to a live show,
view.
oh my God, it sucks.
Yeah, definitely. It's you can see in the old school shots, like the photos. There's just it's all signs and you don't see anyone's face.
Hey,
now
what's
it's
up,
all
Hells?
phones though. It's like this.
Hells is here.
Shout out to Hells.
I saw they were actually showing Cody's. We're watching SmackDown, like kind of as we talk. So
Schmack.
They're recapping the Rumble now.
yeah, the recap and everything. We just saw Cody's
Okay,
surgery.
Apart from the Rumble,
Yeah,
let's talk about some of the other matches because I don't think the Rumble was that good, but the pay-per-view, the Royal Rumble, was great. I think.
I
Pretty
enjoyed
good.
the rest. That was fun.
So what were some of the other things? There was the Women's Royal Rumble. Rhea Ripley won. Saw that coming a mile away. She looked strong.
Ripley's definitely going over. She looks big. Yeah, she's hot.
Yeah.
I
think
didn't
we
realize
all
she
love-
was Australian.
Yes.
From New Zealand. Australian? Yeah, that's
Yeah,
cool.
Australian.
So, what else is going on? There's some drama brewing in the women's thing too, right? It's because whoever holds the belt right now, and
There's 2 women's champions.
just saw
Yep,
Charlotte
You have
wrestle-
Charlotte, and then you have Bianca Belair, and Rhea, I think, said she's going against Charlotte,
okay,
which leaves something for Bianca. So that's one. That's another thing. I feel like there's not much more to say there yet. Maybe they'll develop that, but they are really developing Rhea Ripley.
they need Nikita Lyons. That's what they need. She just got her
She's out.
surgery.
She's
I
down
saw
and
she-
out.
surgery.
She just had it done. I saw.
Yeah, she's out for a while. But apart from
Godspeed,
that,
can't
they
wait
had
till
the
she's back.
Pitch Black match, which
what was that?
we were smoking for that
Oh,
one,
that's
but
right.
it was
the
actually
Mountain
pretty.
Dew.
So here's
That
the
was the
thing: there's a
Mountain
lot
Dew
of
match,
people
yeah.
like Jim Cornette or whatever hated that match. I thought it was
What?
pretty cool because it wasn't like,
It was a sponsored match for the Voodoo.
but you could see what was going on. You could see what was going on. It was like the black lights and the neon, but it was
Yeah,
still
it
a
was like
regular
my
whetting
bedroom.
match. Yeah, exactly.
it was like fighting.
It was
in my
like a
room.
Spencer's,
And
freaking.
that's the guy that like
Back room with
Undertaker
Gadgets and
gave
Gizmo.
his
Yes, he
blessing
gave him
to
the
and all
blessings
that.
or whatever.
That's cool. That's nice.
Oh, look at this. So
here's the
we're reading
drama.
the captions
Roman
here,
Reigns. Look at all
but Roman said, "Where's your brother?" I don't know. You didn't talk to him. All right, so I guess he's gonna be. You could see that there's tension brewing.
Yeah, there's I don't know. I think Roman Reigns would make the way better bad guy than a
He
good
is
guy.
he's been a bad guy. He was a good guy for the longest time.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
hated him
Yep, everyone hated
because
his
he was
guts.
being jammed down their throats. Same thing
Yeah.
happened to John Cena.
That's what I heard. Okay.
Except they actually turned him, and he's been a bad guy for like 2 years. He's been having his reign as the
years, really?
champion. Yeah,
well,
yeah. He was
I feel
originally
like the
good
last
guy.
2 years.
well,
don't
then they
count because
haven't
of the
been
pandemic.
doing a well. All right, then
No,
that-
they
you
have.
know what
You
it
haven't
is?
been watching. They've been
I
doing a
haven't
great
been
job
watching,
making him a bad
and
guy.
then I also. Is there somebody equal in star power to him right now? You know what I mean?
No, he's
now
just
Cody. I think that now there's the dynamic where
Yes. You
his
have the good guy,
bad
bad
and his
guy.
good. Yeah,
Yes.
like people want Cody over so bad.
Right.
He's the instant good guy, and now
He
could
was
really.
Here's the thing: he was always bad, but he was almost kind of likable because he's like a cool bad guy, almost in the vein
Tony
of NWO.
Soprano, anti-hero, whatever.
Right, and then when he let Sammy into the bloodline, was almost like, oh, you see, like he's lightening up. There's a good side to him, but that
Okay.
all had to blow up in the face. So it's like
Dollar General.
he's
Tolman
been a
Giants
bad
fan.
guy, but you kind of liked him, and people are starting to respect him because unlike John Cena, who was always a good guy that everybody hated watching, and they kept jamming him down their throats. Joe hates John. Joe will attest
I
too.
hate that he's on the cover of the next fucking game. I'm just like, why?
I
hope
like
there's
John
a
Cena
special
now.
edition.
I hated John Cena forever, but I like
He's
him
funny
now.
as an actor. I enjoy.
Good actor.
Peacemaker
He
and
does a
shit.
lot of good
was
things
really
for
funny.
kids. You can't hate the
Listen,
guy.
it's hate as in terms of a worker, the work ethic, just the character, the John Cena character. Can't see me. The
If you-
fucking short, the jorts. You're just like shut
And he
the
always
fuck
won. You
up,
don't
dude.
understand. Wrestling
The head
sucked.
ugh.
Wrestling sucked for a long time
I'm
because they
sure.
always
I'm
made
sure.
him win. He was like this unbeatable. It was like Superman, generic, kind of boring in a sense.
Yeah, definitely.
Roman Reigns said,
I
"I
didn't
want
know what
your
to do
brother
because
is."
they lost the fucking era, and then everything was swinging in a weird way where it was like The controversy was, everyone was anti-controversial. There was like, oh my God, they said fuck, or whatever. They said bitch, and
It's almost like the pendulum swung extreme the other way. It was
always. That's always.
It was the
it
Attitude
is
Era, and then
Right.
it was like almost like the Puritan era. It's
Yeah.
Puritan. It never was that pure.
No,
I mean,
to be
now,
Puritan
nowadays,
level,
they
but-
can't
It's a
get away
perfect
with fucking
analogy.
shit anymore.
Well,
It's-
that's the thing is they're starting to dip their toe in that a little bit, and Triple H has said,
Well, if they
and I've
sell
mentioned this
privately
before,
again, then maybe you'll start
It
seeing.
seems like-
if
something.
they go
That
private,
seems like what's going to happen based on those rumors and all that conversation around, that shit doesn't come out of nowhere. But usually, I think what we read is such an exaggeration of the facts until it actually happens. Sure, I'm sure they're going to accept money from a lot of different places because this shit is worth billions of fucking dollars. The WWE is not some little
get a lot of IP.
thing.
They have a lot of history.
Oh, games, show, content for decades. They have fucking money forever if you
Yeah.
do it right. So, yeah, it makes sense that if they're going to go private, they're going to be raising fucking $50 billion, $100 billion, and they're going to need it from a lot of
No,
places.
I think
and that
they're
would
trying
be
to sell
good.
it for their. I think
don't
the
think they're
target
even
price was like
selling-
$6 billion or something like that.
Six.
6 or 7 billion was
That's
like
great. Okay.
what it's. What
I don't
it-
know. I think
and even that is asking more
why
than
is
it's.
Twitter worth 40? Well, you know what I mean? Like
because you overpaid for that. that's
$50
why.
billion
Yeah.
no value. You know what I mean? Bullshit. That shit is worth money. It's worth. There's a lot of
44 billion though.
influence
Yeah.
in Twitter. That's a different conversation. But this, I'm just saying, there's a lot of hard
I mean,
assets. You said
6-7
it.
billion
IP.
isn't a
Maybe
small
10
amount of
billion,
money.
but
Absolutely
like,
not.
you
No,
know,
I'm not
it's-
downplaying how much it is, but
Yeah,
I think
it's-
like 20, because they have to buy it all back. I'm saying they have to buy all the stock back, and I
Right.
don't know how much is out there. Like,
Most
I
of it,
don't-
they're just gonna be buying most of it from Vince, I guess. But
Well, they'll be buying it back to. So then Vince's shares, that 53% he holds will be
80.
definitive.
80% of voting power. But so
Jesus,
Nick Khan,
really?
the CEO, came out today and said that it'll probably be sold within 3 months.
3 months. Wow.
3 months. He said it today on like MSNBC.
Damn.
Gotcha.
So 3 months. Was the timeline. He said quick. He said quick, and then he said
Quick.
probably about 3 months. So we'll see what happens
I
there.
wonder what that means for Triple H and what they're doing. I hope. Things
Well,
stay.
Vince apparently it was also said today. Vince said that he'd be willing to step aside if they want him to.
I
If
mean,
they
he already
sell
has
it,
more or less, right?
yeah.
I don't
He's
think he
coming
should be.
back.
I don't. It's important to have founders, in my opinion, involved in certain business because at the end of the day, they're the core values. It's a
Yeah.
family-owned thing, or was. It was his father's thing, and so on
It's
and
not
so
the
forth.
WWE or WWF
Without the
McMahon at
McMahons.
helm.
It's
not.
really not, So I could see where even in symbolically, they make him chairman. There's a couple of things you could do, but all the whole point is actually so then they're not beholden to the quarterly report bullshit, and they're
Right,
not
the
scared to do
stockholders,
things that are
sponsors.
slightly controversial. Say
They're not gonna. I mean, they
They're
still
not
have
gonna go off the
sponsors.
rails. You're
You
not
still
gonna
have to be
see-
able to
yes.
appeal to sponsors, and
Yeah, but they're
sponsors don't like.
they're
you know.
flimsy though. They'll fucking stop and then they'll come back quietly.
Well, that's
They'll
what I was gonna say.
they'll announce that they're gonna not give you any money, and then they're gonna start giving you money again without telling anybody.
Well, yeah, a lot of other assholes have gotten away with worse. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh no, we're cutting our.
I don't
we're
mean
not
it should get
sponsoring it anymore.
pornographic.
But,
I don't think the WWE benefits from being ridiculous.
no, they
But-
can't go. maybe
Like
more
you said with the
violent
John
or-
Cena shit, gets a little boring. We want to see some edge. We
Well,
want to
but
see some.
but
you want to
so
go?
Let's talk
Is that
about
Bret
shit,
Hart?
did he
Fuck
just
Shawn
say that?
Michaels? What?
Yeah. What did he just say? What did he just say?
let's talk about the ending to the Royal Rumble. So the Roman Reigns
cool.
match.
Yeah, that was good.
He beat Kevin Owens. And then everything that
Chained
I mean,
him
it's
up
already been
and-
talked about ad nauseum. But how
What do you
fucking
mean?
good was it? It was so good. I watched that shit. I mean, here's the thing: is you don't really know necessarily
I don't.
all the
Keep telling me I
backstory
don't
to
know,
it.
I'm just saying.
Well, so to fill you in, for anybody that doesn't know the whole backstory of this, more recently we know Sami Zayn has been trying to get into the bloodline. He's been trying to win them over. He just wants to be in with the cool crowd. At first they weren't having it, but then little by little he'd get them to start laughing. In real life, he'd get them to crack character and almost break the third wall. And in these promos, they would start.
Look who it is. Official Target Toys, Bret the Hitman Hart is the first front runner,
For
Yeah.
flanked by Hulk Hogan, WWE Legends,
Yes.
by Mattel, Joe probably already fucking has
Joe
one.
already
ordered
has
it.
the
Oh, he already
toy.
pre-ordered it. Yeah,
He
he
did
got
pre-order
it in
it?
the mail. He has,
Yeah, he's got
he
it,
has
of
it in
course.
hand.
Fuck
And then
Joe.
in the
where you
same
at,
breath,
bud?
he'll fucking
out
say his
there?
fucking car has no heat, but he's fucking got these
Oh,
Bret Hart
man.
toys.
Mama.
I'm getting heat now.
Jeez.
It's heat, brother.
Jeez.
Fucking
Oh,
went
poor
to
Hogan
defend
too. You hear
himself,
Hogan
goddamn.
having trouble walking? Can't feel his feet
Yeah,
and
so he
shit?
got spine surgery, and he actually has
Sorry.
no feeling in his legs ever again.
Poor guy.
Then apparently,
They had to sever the nerves or something, so he can't feel his legs. So he has
according to
walk
Kurt
around with
Angle,
it.
he said he couldn't feel from the legs down. But
Damn,
but
that's
then
sad.
Hulk Hogan's rep came out and said Hulk Hogan's fine. He can apparently feel, and he can walk around without a
What the
cane.
fuck?
So I don't know.
Well, I'm sure
Hulk
also
Hogan is
Hogan
a-
trying to save
Hulk
face.
Hogan-
Hogan ain't
Hogan
cool with
apparently
being, he don't want to be perceived as some cripple fucking can't walk guy. I'm sure he's
Well, let me tell you
Hulk
something.
Hogan's
That-
like, tell you, brother, yeah. fuck you.
Nervomania's running wild.
He's
in the
also
Hulk's
developed-
legs, brother.
Yeah, I bet Hulk Hogan's like, fuck that, I can walk.
God created the heavens, and then he created the earth.
We were the Hulkster. He's an American icon. No, yeah, definitely. I think it was probably a little exaggerated what the
Hulk is
problem
known
could be.
apparently
For
to tell tall
embellishing?
tales.
Oh,
and
yeah.
embellish.
Yeah.
So he's
Remember I
probably
seen
talking
the
to
whole
Kurt
video?
Angle. He's like, I can't walk, brother. and then his rep is like, fuck, stop telling people that.
Stop telling people.
Hopefully Hulk is healthy and
Yeah,
can
hell
feel
yeah.
everything because we all love us some Hulk Hogan.
Me and
But
Joe were talking
Back
about
to the topic at hand.
Oh, yeah,
Fucking
right.
God damn it. See, this is the problem with long-term storytelling. Everybody wants long-term storytelling, but we don't have the
Cool.
attention span. That's been the biggest complaint from wrestling fans is that there's no good long-term storytelling.
Oh, I see what you're
But
saying.
this is good long-term storytelling.
hell yeah.
So Sammy's been trying to get in with the
fuck is the old
bloodline. They
lady?
he got them to crack. They'd start laughing and stuff like that, and that
They
made people like
liked
everybody
him,
more.
hey.
That's why they liked Roman
Roman's
because
letting him in.
even Roman
All
would
right.
start laughing in the middle of the thing, and he's supposed to be serious, but he'd start laughing. So people started loving that. That wins over wrestling fans. They like when somebody's funny, and Sammy won them over. But then there's the Usos, they're twin brothers. The one guy, Jay, wasn't having it. He didn't trust Sammy. He's like, fuck you. I don't want you in this group. Yada, yada, yada. And he
Saw that,
eventually proved himself and won over Jay, right? If you go back even further, though, when all this bullshit with Roman Reigns started, where he became a bad guy in the bloodline, it all started where I think it was, I don't remember entirely, so I'm not going to go too crazy with accuracy, but his brother Jimmy was already with him, aligned. Jay came back, and he pretty much had to humble Jay. It was like this, who's the alpha of the pack, and Jay didn't want to fall in line, and Roman pretty much beat the shit out of him and, like, humiliated the fuck out of him. I think Jimmy had to, like, throw in the towel for him or something like that.
Throw the damn towel.
And he made like a bitch out
Come
of him.
on, Rock.
Asserted dominance. And then the next, like, night, Jay came out and he's like, "Why'd you have to do me like that?" Like, he was like crying and stuff. He's like, "Why did you have to, like,
Embarrass
humiliate me like on that level?" But then he ends up falling in line. So that's the whole thing is when Jay sees him start doing this to Sammy and beating the shit out of him after Sammy just won him over, and he knows that Sammy's really not even, like, he knows he's a good guy. So he's having these flashbacks, and that's why he walked out when they were beating the shit on him, putting the beating on him.
Gotcha.
So again, long term, over like the course of years, storytelling.
Roman Reigns has a established pattern of abuse to his subordinates type thing.
At least as of the past couple of years, he used to be the white meat, good guy, blue chipper, baby face. But
Sure.
for this story that they've been continuing for a little while, yes.
So there is long term.
Long term,
I think-
what are the ramifications? I mean, now there's splinters in the bloodline, and he's saying, "Where's Jay?" We're watching SmackDown as it goes on here. We get some cavemen beating each other up.
It's
But
the Vikings versus the Celts.
it was so fucking good, and if you've been following it even a little bit, like, I haven't watched all this shit, but I follow it.
It's a lot to watch.
It's a lot to watch.
4 hours.
but-
every fucking
Yeah, no, I ain't
2
watching.
times a
Now
week.
it's making me kind of want to watch and see, like, well, what's gonna happen, and that's
Yeah, it's good.
I
to
want
see.
that.
I actually was curious what they were saying before, because I saw Paul Heyman with
Yeah.
Reigns, and I'm like, oh, they're definitely sulking. They're oh, our brother's fucking gone, and
Right.
so it's good. I mean, it makes it is compelling. It's more compelling than maybe what the fuck was going on before, and
Yeah.
and it's good when you have this new blood. You were saying something before about AEW, and I want you to actually remake that point because this was a conversation between you and Joe. But
yeah.
I know that Rhodes was at AEW for a while, right? He got let go by the WWE.
No. He
What happened? He left. He didn't like what the fuck was going on. I'm curious.
Cody,
about that.
when
I
he
don't know
was in
why
WWE
gone.
a few years ago, his brother's Goldust, Dustin Rhodes. They paired them up together, and he became Stardust, which was just a version of Goldust. It was like a quirky, ridiculous. Look it up. It's fucking like
Terrible.
probably
It's terrible.
humiliating for him. And he wanted out of the character, and they didn't really want to let him do that, and so he left. He started carving out his own path. He did indie shows. He went to, I think, Ring of Honor.
No shit.
I remember
Wow,
seeing
he
it.
went
What really, when he made a wave, was there was a video circulating of him doing a moonsault off the top of a steel cage.
That's cool.
And it was like, wow, he's really going out there and like throwing out, like, you know, trying to prove himself. And he
Gotcha.
did. He tried to prove himself and prove everyone wrong.
Yeah.
And then eventually,
He's not just a legacy.
they started with I remember they were going to do a show at Madison Square Garden, and WWE blocked that because that's their like backyard. But they weren't doing shows there for a long time. So Madison Square Garden's like, well, then we're going to start seeing other offers. So that was the whole thing. Then they did one pay-per-view. They called it All In. And it was a success, and that's what eventually made AEW get formed.
Okay.
And
I
Cody
see.
was at the he was like one of like the three founders of, or three groups of
Oh, I
founders,
didn't know
whatever
that.
you want to say.
Gotcha.
Because it was Cody, the Young Bucks, which is a tag team, and then Tony Khan. And yeah, he was there
Tony Khan, the owner of the fucking Jaguars?
Yes. Yes. His dad is Shad Khan, who owns he owns the Jaguars, among other things. He's like a billionaire, multi-billionaire. So Tony Khan is a billionaire's son, also a billionaire.
That must be so fun. I would love to own a football team. Fuck.
Well, imagine now you get to buy your own wrestling.
Ryan
Football
Reynolds
team.
has his own
wrestling
soccer
thing,
team now.
football.
Yeah.
Jesus. That's the dream right there.
So they
All
formed it, but then Cody eventually, after several years at AEW, or 2 years, I don't know how long it was, and helping define them and create a place that people wanted to go to, he decided to leave. And he hasn't really totally said why. He said it was because he has said why. He said pretty much when he was at AEW, he was focused on developing others and building others up. But he also still had unfinished business and wanted to
I was going to say,
go into business for himself.
Return to the WWE and prove like he's the champ.
Exactly. And
And
he
his
couldn't
dad
do
was
that.
never champ, right?
His dad
this
was
is
never
another part.
champion. And
Okay.
Goldust was also never WWE. You know, it wasn't the main champion. He was an
Well,
intercontinental
he
champion.
was never a
Ah.
WWE champion, but
Right.
he held several titles in the territories that he fought
I mean,
Yes.
or
I
he was
very
absorbed.
distinctly
Because-
remember Goldust.
Love
You know,
Goldust.
back in the day when
He
there
was a
were
little-
separate territories,
As a
Top
kid,
five favorite.
found very weird.
it was Dusty versus Ric Flair. Ric Flair was the ultimate heel, and he was
Yes.
the ultimate face, and he was like the common man and the.
They're
Ah,
just
right,
a
right,
working
right.
man.
Back in the
Working
day when
hard
being
with
the common
his
man was a
hands.
good guy.
He's American dream.
Gotta
With him,
love it.
baby. I love
And that
it.
was just in WWF, that song. He didn't have
Yeah,
that song. for
no,
all
but
time.
that's still my favorite entrance.
He was
theme
like an
of all time.
NWA champion, I believe, but he wasn't. He wasn't a WCW champion, and he wasn't a WWF champion
No.
because he was done by the time WCW
Oh yeah,
was formed.
yeah. He was like really like forming new talent
Yeah.
because he had the wrestling.
He was always a
school and all
booker,
that stuff.
Dusty. Well, he wasn't always. After he retired from wrestling, he was a booker. So he was one of the people writing the show pretty much in WCW, and then eventually
Cody's thing-
WWF.
super interesting because he's like the modern WWE champ. The reason I say that is back in the day, they talk about kayfabe, right? And
Right.
kayfabe was behind the curtain.
Yeah.
But because we live in the social media age, there is no more.
Well,
Behind
because
the
of so
curtain.
many, because of the steroid trial, because of
Well, I'm just saying
Yeah.
because your access to people, you could see
It's
guys
impossible.
drinking at a bar together. If that was a big deal, you want to make them villain, hate each other, but then somebody sees them at a bar together.
right.
No good. Cody's story is authentic. Cody's story is actually real, and everybody knows it.
Yes.
So he's the actual fucking good guy because not only do you like him, you like his story. You love his
Right.
narrative of this leaving,
And because
building
he's like
something,
a descendant of Dusty who was solo.
Right,
and
that's
he's
all part of
not
it.
he's not picked to be because he's the legacy. It's not like,
Yeah.
oh, let's make him champ because he's the legacy.
He had to take
Everyone
the long route.
knows he
100%.
left
Yeah.
to do all
He
these
had
things.
to take the long route, whereas there's other
and as
guys
much
that
as
were
it
just
probably
pushed.
sucked to live through, him tearing
Oh,
that
it's
pec,
awful.
and like,
You see it. I saw the post game.
but that's what put him
interview.
on the map because
Yes.
people saw his dedication and
Yeah,
that he was
the
serious.
moonsault. Like
He,
you just
that's
said
the
off
thing.
the-
He was already on the map, but that's what That's what like propelled him into the
Nobody
fucking.
could doubt his dedication.
I mean,
Yeah.
from us watching WrestleMania last year, that was what I didn't know anything about the guy except that he's coming back, he's son of a legacy, blah blah
Yeah.
blah. But I was still relatively very
Yeah.
unknowing about this stuff.
Mhm.
But that's what impressed me was his physical ability. This guy was on the ropes doing the backflips. He's a huge guy, so
Good
it
match.
stands out that like, wow, this guy's.
He
Big,
wasn't always
athletic,
huge.
he
That's
has
the
a
other thing
presence.
too. He
Oh,
used to
he's a
be
small
like
guy.
more like slim, slender. He used to have a lisp
Young as
like
fuck.
Dusty had.
He has a
and
lisp still, but
he
he
still
looks
has
like
a
he
little
worked
bit of a
on it.
lisp, but he
I'm sure
got
he
rid
has
of it.
coaching, like
And sometimes you don't hear it at all. Like it totally goes away. I think I think he actually can control it, and he turns it on
it's iconic.
sometimes because of. And that's the thing. I mean, if your father was Dusty Rhodes, you'd probably develop a
a
lisp.
little bit of a
you know?
lisp.
You just pick it up because that's how
I had a
he
little
talks.
bit of a lisp when I was a little kid. I still have a slight lisp, but not like with a lisp when I was a
What
kid.
is
a
going
lisp,
on
lisp?
right now?
With a lisp.
This guy's about to get slammed by the Viking dude right
Drop
now. I
on
don't
his
know what's
head.
going on.
It's the Celts versus the Vikings. over
Celts.
here.
Yeah,
the
it's a
Viking.
very.
This guy looks very small compared to these two guys that
Yes.
are wearing
I could probably
Game of
join
Thrones
those Viking
outfits.
dudes. Yeah.
Yeah, these are the Viking. What are they called? The
Viking.
Viking Raiders. The Vikings. This guy, look at him. He just did a fucking roundhouse kick.
Roundhouse for a big
Fucking
guy.
guy is like
Beautiful.
600 pounds. He just gave a roundhouse.
Hey
He's
Rob,
not
go
600
do a
pounds.
roundhouse first. Roundhouse.
I can do a roundhouse.
Roadhouse.
Yeah, Roadhouse.
Roadhouse. I took Taekwondo. I could do roundhouse.
Shit. Love to see that one.
Adam
for
A.
4
says
years.
Cody was always bad in a Randy Orton Kane kind of way. What do you mean by that? I don't get what that means.
Bad in a bad guy or not good as in his abilities were not good. I feel like if
Randy Orton and Kane are both.
Kane is like
It's got to be Kane.
Kane's whole image was his thing, so I don't remember him necessarily being a He was just
Kane was
big and powerful. That
Kane
would
was
be
a
just
monster. Kane was
Yeah,
Jason Voorhees.
an animal. Yeah.
He was literally Jason Voorhees. They would fucking like smack him with a chair and he just
And
tilt his
I
head.
don't mean to say he wasn't, but he was like an athletic,
The big red
esque
machine.
guy. I don't know.
Well, he was. That's because he deliberately
That guy
he
was
had that slow,
Motor, yeah,
methodical,
Jason,
like
Michael Myers.
unstoppable. Yeah. But then when he needed to move, Kane would
was
fucking
fast.
yeah. He
Kane
and
was Jason
he's
and,
jacked.
and Undertaker was like
Oh,
Michael
huge.
Myers.
Oh, I
you know,
remember-
it's
yeah.
like-
So yeah, I'm curious what Adam actually meant by that.
because they were always bad guys that you liked. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
Anti-hero. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, that's
so
like a big
Cody
thing.
used to be like
NWO
that.
did that. Like that's when wrestling really changed from like you hate the bad guys to the bad guys are actually the good guys and the good guys are
Stone
fucking
Cold,
losers.
All that.
Yeah,
they were not
Stone Cold.
good guys.
Yeah,
It wasn't
right.
like Hollywood Hulk Hogan. It was more like
Well, culturally, that's what we
beer-chugging
were. It was like
fucking
the worse you
regular.
were, the better people liked you. You know, like
Right.
That
I
was
like
hard
this
for entertainment to
unstoppable
realize.
guy. You know, like, and that's but
The
we
common
were also
man.
blessed at that time because
John
there were
Wayne.
multiple guys fighting for the top spot.
Yeah.
So we got top quality entertainment out of that because there were multiple people
Right.
working the room and trying to be the best.
Stone
you
Cold,
had,
The
like,
Rock, Triple H,
personalities.
Kurt Angle,
That's what they're
Chris
missing
Jericho.
these days. Like they don't have the personalities that they did before. You know, the
Well, now it helps because to that point, like I think the WWF had such a big legacy because of Hogan and Macho Man and shit. There were young guys trying to be those guys. It just took time for them to become
But there were
it.
so many, like in the '80s. Like I mean, it wasn't just them, or even like Ultimate Warrior, like some of the obvious ones. But then you had like Junkyard Dog, and you had Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. You had like multiple people are putting out fantastic matches. Like if you look at WrestleMania 1 or even WrestleMania 3, you look at some of like the side card matches, and they're just as entertaining, if not more, than the big
You know what
spots
the-
of
you know
those
what-
matches.
You know what the difference is, honestly? This
like
would
Randy
go-
Savage and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat's
be a-
match was fantastic, and that was the card that they had Andre and Hulk Hogan fighting
This
each
would
other.
be a capitalism argument because back then, like this shit they weren't under contract and shit. They were fighting to be the guy in the match, in the ring that night for the payday. You know what I mean? Like now it's very like, it's
It was well written too
almost
back
on
then
script.
too. You know, with the feuds.
I don't know
and
about
stuff.
well
I'd push
written,
back on that because Vince was the one doing the where I would push back is a lot of these guys have gotten laid off recently, so nobody's safe. You know what I mean? Like there is still a bit of that. You know, it's not like anyone's safe right now. They'll let you.
I don't mean your contract makes you lazy. I just mean under contract, whereas everything's really like scripted and laid out and kind of. I think back then there was probably a lot of like similar to this podcast right before the show or within like the day before the show. Like, all right, this is what we're gonna do. Ready with this? Is what we do. Blah blah blah. Here's our best guys. Let's make this happen. Let's make it look good. Let's sell the shit out of it. Hit me. I don't care if you hit me in the face. Just don't fucking break my nose. Yeah. Whereas now I'm sure it's just a tiny bit more under control, because look at all these people here. This is way bigger audience than what they were filling those little gymnasiums back in
it's bigger
86.
audience.
Oh, there's the girl
I think they got a lot of stars, but when you have so many stars, it's hard to see the brightest one in the sky. You know what I mean? It's like they kind of all get lost in the shuffle a bit, but I mean, they're getting there. Things are changing slowly.
They are changing. Yes.
With Triple H at the helm,
he's doing a good job.
Yeah, I mean, Sami Zayn. Look at Sami Zayn. Everybody loves this fucking guy. You know what I mean?
There's other subplots that are interesting beyond the Reigns Cody thing.
Yeah, because I mean, like you always had those side stories like Mick Foley. Like I almost see Sami Zayn as like a Mick Foley type of character where he wins you over because it's like he almost seems like he's got a heart of gold and he's a little funny. They can make you laugh.
Gotcha.
We have that there. It's just I don't know what's different. I don't know why it's not as good as it used to be. It's just not.
I would say that it also comes back to the limitations of it.
Lacks edge. I think there's just a tiny bit of edge missing, and
that is part of it. Just us? Are we just old and not receptive to it?
We're old, yes.
We're old.
But I would say sometimes when, wrestling back in the day, it appealed to a lot of age groups. And there was a certain amount of, like, you couldn't believe what you were seeing or hearing. There was like oh my God, they just said that on TV.
Well, it was like Jerry Springer.
Now we're fucking desensitized to death. Nothing shocks us. There is nothing you could show me that they could put on fucking TV on this channel right now that would make me go.
And it's all so much has been done.
It's on my phone.
As a society, I think
there are new ways to approach things, and also you got to remember too. Yeah, we're old, so we've seen it. There's a whole generation that hasn't seen it yet. They don't watch all the old shit. They don't go back.
And the kids love the shit that's coming out.
Yes, exactly.
That's what it's
thing.
about.
Yeah. We're not the target audience, and that's part of what I witnessed with the kind of nostalgia of what we have. And you see a lot of it out there, and it's like, it's not for us anymore. That's just what it is. You have to accept you're in your 30s and 40s. That's it. Like
we're still in the target demographic. That's 18 to
35.
18, yeah.
That's the primary, 18 to 35. 18 to 35. You know what I'm saying? So understand. And even then, when they say 18, they kind of mean 13. You know what I mean? There's a lot of space between. Right. But 18 is legal. 30. Right. You're not the target audience, so you gotta. Not only is the subject matter different, but you can rehash shit.
They're not putting Logan Paul on there for us. That's the thing, and you have to accept that
it's always
they're going to do
putting
things
asses
like
in
and
seats.
He's one
high-profile people to put asses in seats.
Well, he's one that has a story that, similar to Rhodes, everyone knows his fucking story. They're building his narrative because his whole personality is bigger than the WWE.
He's a natural heel, because
exactly. You just either don't like or like him. So
okay,
hold
on.
Plug him in.
What is going on with this balloon shit?
Oh, you want to
talk
about
Chinese
about
balloons? This? What are they talking about? What is this Chinese
balloon? There is a like kind of high-end hot air balloon that's about like 60,000 feet in the air.
Unmanned? It's like a drone balloon?
Unmanned. Yeah, it's not like a
It's not a guy in the balloon.
Absolutely not, but there's a lot of technology in the balloon. There's a lot of technology in the balloon.
Well, look, they got
Chinese balloon.
They got hot air balloon.
China balloon. China balloon.
China, maybe the balloon.
My only opinion about it is this. So China says one thing, everybody believes.
Well, what does China say? It's not their balloon?
Yeah, China says it's some kind of fucking thing that's off course. It's some kind of observational thing that's off course and blah, blah, blah.
Well, what is the balloon going to see? We got Google Maps already. You can fucking just GPS over half the shit.
My point and my thoughts were, you think these motherfuckers need to float a balloon over the country to see Montana?
You have TikTok on your phone. They can see everything you do.
Whatever. There's
how many times you wipe your ass after you shit, for Christ's sake.
Listen, there's like 1 million or some shit fucking satellites above the earth. Not all of them are American. They can see.
Yeah.
They can sure as fucking hell see our bases, our missile launch
Do you
sites,
see
all
what
this
I
shit.
see?
We can see theirs. They can see ours. It's all fucking
Look for the
known.
places that
How
are
can you
blurred on
hide
the
it?
maps.
They don't need no
The world
fucking
is a
hot air
giant urinal
balloon.
with no bracket in between.
We're
You
just,
all
know,
see
everyone
Okay,
out
each
so
other's
that's
shit.
not a serious. You're saying it's not a serious. You don't think it's a serious
I
thing.
think it flaunts in the face of like defense, where it's like, where the fuck? There's this fucking balloon. I can see this thing. We didn't shoot this thing down. It's just like a normal, common, everyday
Why haven't
American.
they? First of all, so a couple of questions. How do they know it's Chinese? Like, is it just fucking emitting
We've been
waveforms
tracking
that
it since
say?
it left China, bro. They
Okay.
know. I know they know. We know that they know, and they know that we know. But then the
Why
media,
haven't they shot it
The
down?
news gets because what are we gonna do? Shoot the fucking thing down?
If there's no people in it.
unimportant. It's unimportant to shoot down. It isn't a military target, as far as I understand. The military knows that. The government knows that. But they're not gonna say, "Hey, everybody, we just want to let you know there's a China balloon floating over." They
We
were just,
shot the balloon,
yeah,
folks.
we
got it.
Depends who the president is, but even
Oh,
then,
oh,
do you
well.
really want to start
imagine
any
if-
kind of just annoying conflict over it? We know that they know, and they know that we know. They have satellites, we have satellites. They have missiles, we have missiles. But it's just another one of these, like, first of all, it's fucking hilarious. You know what I mean? It's just funny.
It's something to talk about because there's no news going on. It's either that or,
well, look,
or
I like
people
boring.
who died today.
Boring's great. Motherfuckers are hungry for drama in the news. And I'm like, watch TV. Stop blurring entertainment and reality, motherfuckers, because you don't want the reality you think you're hoping for. Zombie apocalypses and nuclear fucking war. Shut the fuck
Reality is
up.
most people
you
would
like
die
your
day
Uber
one.
Eats. You like your fast food. You
Right.
like your sitting on your ass playing video games. You don't want the internet
You don't want a
electricity not
revolution.
fucking
Yeah.
working.
Yeah,
Shut
yeah.
the fuck up.
Yeah.
So, shoot it down. Let's fucking go to... shut
Yeah.
the fuck up.
Revolution,
Yeah,
great.
shut-
Well,
yeah,
then
you're
your fucking
lazy.
stock
You're all
market
lazy.
plummets.
So anyway, yeah, that's funny though. I saw, of course, that shit is primetime news, and every conspiracy out there is
Well, I don't know.
it's gathering important farming data on Montana. They can see the civilians in
Interesting.
the Midwest.
Well,
You
I'm
know.
curious what
Can we shoot it down? Duh. Got
Perhaps.
planes that fly 60,000 miles an hour. We got Tom Cruise in a fucking movie showing you the shit that
Tom
type
Cruise
of
is going
shit
to
that
jump
they
out
do.
of a plane and take out the balloon.
Yeah.
But
But
then he's
it's
going to
good
land in a
fodder.
convertible and drive off into the sunset.
It's good
Okay.
fodder. It's good fodder. What's going on here? We're watching someone get beat
Zelina
up.
Vega
Zelina Vega.
Vega.
That wasn't believable, but sometimes
and
it's
Natty
the
Neidhart.
athleticism.
Yolanda
Bret
Vega
Hart's-
over here.
Bret
Ooh.
Hart's niece.
Bret Hart's niece. I gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nice
that's
job,
the one
Bret.
that got immediately eliminated, right?
Yes.
Now, is that the
No.
British Bulldog's daughter? Or is that
Ooh, good
Owen's
question.
daughter?
That's Natalia.
Joe,
Neidhart.
this is where we need
That's
you, pal.
No, that's Natty Night. That's Jim the Anvil Neidhart.
Oh, Neidhart's daughter.
Yeah, she's Natty Neidhart.
Natty Neidhart.
Yeah.
I don't know these people.
And Jim the Anvil Neidhart was, I think, married to Brett's sister,
yeah.
I believe. So,
Well, British Bulldog was also married to his sister. Different
Right.
sister.
yeah. You know the British Bulldog? I like read something recently. Like he got into like a bar fight with somebody and like fucking like brain damaged the guy.
Oh shit.
Like he like really fucked him up.
Wow.
Yeah,
Good for him.
look it up. I can't tell you the whole story. I forget
Yeah,
it.
British
but
Bulldog ain't with us no more.
I don't know if he killed the guy or if he just like gave him like he like made him a vegetable pretty much or something like that. Pretty fucked up.
Well,
Damn.
I know we'll continue to talk about what's going on TV here, but also, Rob, you brought a lot of shit this week. Again.
I did.
I'm
I did.
Yeah.
I'm a piece of
gonna
shit.
stop. I'm gonna
Can't
stop. So,
So we're gonna start with
yeah.
what's on the
Everyone
table.
watching is
we're-
an enabler. All right.
We are all
thanks, guys.
enablers. But it makes good fodder for the show. So to show off the first thing, my buddy Joe Aprano and I, who is one of the owners of the Rip and Ship gaming store, who is one of our sponsors for the show, and actually donated this box of Pokemon cards for the show. So we'll be opening that later.
thanks, Joe.
But we went on a toy hunt. We ended up going to 2 different places. We went to Milo Toys and Collectibles out in Oakdale. And then we went to Blast from the Past in Bayshore. So Milo, we were there for about I want to say like an hour and change, and we're looking around. I really didn't see anything, and then I want to say like maybe 5 minutes before we were gonna leave, I spotted this thing, and I was like, "What is this?" It looked like a statue or something, and I slid up the little sleeve thing, and it opens up to reveal a bunch of figures from the War of the Realms comic book line written by Jason Aaron. It was a really phenomenal storyline, but what's cool about this set and why I had to have it, number one, of course, it's Thor, but they're giving you the Jason Aaron version of Thor. They're giving you the Lady Jane Foster, of course, Thor. And this is really what they based the story of the Love and Thunder Lady Jane on.
Okay.
Because she has the cancer in this story.
Oh,
and
really?
So the way this story kind of
an
ends
actual
is
story.
that the War of the Realms is raging, and if she turns into Thor one more time, she's going to die. So something happens, and she just turns into Thor and saves fucking Asgard from the Mangog, who was destroying Asgard and killing all of the Asgardian gods, and she just fucking takes Mjolnir and like ties the little strap to the Mangog and hurls him into the sun. And fucking destroys the Mangog, destroys Mjolnir.
Wow.
And like kind of kills herself because without Mjolnir she reverts back to Jane and dies and goes to the gates of Valhalla.
Gotcha.
And Odin like welcomes her there himself, and like finally has the respect for her that's due.
Gotcha.
Because like she literally saved all the Asgardians and like showed like true warrior spirit. So what they end up doing is making her the lead Valkyrie, so she becomes Valkyrie.
Wow.
And Thor ends up, searching the sun for like any traces of Uru that are left to possibly reforge Mjolnir. He ends up getting Mjolnir back eventually.
Uru, what's Uru? Is that like a
Uru
tree?
is the metal that Thor's hammer Mjolnir is made of.
Oh, really?
It's
star.
like it has like magical properties,
like a meteor or
and you
something?
can like enchant it easily with enchantments. But one of the enchantments of it is that whosoever holds this hammer, if he be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor. So you can't lift the hammer unless you're worthy.
So so that means that Thor is Thor without the hammer anyway.
Thor himself is Thor without the hammer.
No matter what.
But the hammer has the god Tempest in it, and that's where the lightning comes from and all that stuff.
Got it.
And the god Tempest comes out, and they like Thor and Odin together, I think, have to stop the Tempest or some shit. There's like a whole story that happens after the War of the Realms.
When Cap wields Mjolnir in the movies, I saw a lot of debate about like, was he Thor or whatever. It was like when he possessed it because he struck lightning. It was
the way it's supposed to
more-
be is that Captain America should have gained the strength of Thor.
Yeah.
Because what happens is Beta Ray Bill fights him in the comic books. Walt Simonson wrote that story.
Okay.
And I actually got to meet him last year, which was really cool.
Nice.
And basically he beats Thor in single combat and proves himself worthy of wielding Mjolnir. So Odin creates a Stormbreaker for him, which is the small golden Stormbreaker, not the one from the Ultimate Universe, which is what they based the ones from the movies on. That's a different Stormbreaker, but
with Groot's arm, was that always like that, or was that just for the movies?
it was just in the movies.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the original Stormbreaker was a small golden hammer, and that's what Beta Ray Bill wields, and he has the powers of Thor.
That's awesome. Did
So-
Bret Hart's niece just win there?
Bret Hart's niece just won
There you go.
against Zelina Vega.
Tell her congratulations, Brett.
Good job, Brett. Cheers. There you go.
That's because he's here. He
It
saw.
worked out.
He watched over her victory.
She qualifies for the women's elimination chamber.
That's cool. Good for her.
See, but that's the thing that like
Congratulations.
fucking it's like now we always have to have the men's
That guy's
version and the
just
women's
like-
version. So there's always two versions
Yo,
of
she jumped into
everything.
the crowd, and that guy sitting there was
So
just
going
like,
back to this box set, why this is
That's
cool.
so sick, dude.
This
I love
is
that
the
thing.
this is the first and only time they've ever released an action figure of Bor. Bor is the father of Odin.
No
So he's
shit.
the original. Yeah. So it's Bor, then Odin.
Thor's grandfather.
So Thor is Odin's son. Odin is Odin Bor's son. So that's like his name. So that you're named after
Love
your
it.
father's son. You know, like
Isn't Odin
if
supposed
I was
to be the
if I was
first one?
Viking, I would be Robert Peterson. Like that would be my name. This is
Peterson.
Malekith, who is the dark
The
elf that
dark,
started
yeah.
the War of the Realms. And then on
It's
the end
actually
here,
a
you
good
have
movie.
Ulik, the king of the trolls. This
Oh.
was the first time they released Ulik as a figure. This was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, I believe, from 2017. I didn't even know this existed until I saw it in the store, and I was like, I gotta fucking have this
Gotta
thing.
have
I
it.
spent a pretty penny on it, though.
Yeah, it looks like a pretty
I did
penny,
spend a
that's for
pretty
sure.
penny. I spent $225 on it.
Fish.
But
It's probably selling for
it's
3.
5 figures, and each one of these figures is at least worth probably $50, considering it's
There we go.
in a box set. And Bor, I looked on the internet, is $86 alone.
Score. Gotcha.
So it's
good.
it's pricey, but I'm
win.
getting 5 premium figures from a box set in decent condition. Because they were charging $250. I got them to bring it down to $225 because there's a little creasing and stuff there.
see
So. I asked them to throw me a bone. So shout out to Milo Toys and
and the
Collectibles.
exterior is great.
Thank you so much for hooking me up with my boy here.
That's cool, man.
Next up, as you can see kind of behind me
There
here,
it is.
I have a 1-to-1 scale full metal replica of He-Man's Power Sword. I
He-Man.
got this. I pre-ordered this on Big Bad Toy Store. It's released by Factory Entertainment. It is a very pricey piece, but it is something that I have wanted since I was a small child, like a real He-Man sword. I've gotten replicas over the past few years, but they're like, I had one that was custom made in Brazil, but it was made of fiberglass and kind of cracked. And then there's the wooden sword and shield set that I bought on Etsy a few years back that hangs on my wall in my room. I'm actually going to replace that set with this. I have it over there, but it looks like He-Man's shield, and it's actually a plaque that I can hang that sword from.
Oh,
So
sweet.
I'm going to be hanging that in my room, and then possibly down the line, maybe I'll do a Peter Griffin He-Man cosplay or something stupid. And
That would be
I'll
fucking
bring the sword and shield and
hilarious.
shit.
With the wig? Oh, my.
He-Man.
Oh, my God. That'd be...
So that was this, and what's crazy is I was starting to doubt that this would ever come because I actually pre-ordered this 2 fucking years
It was
ago.
like pre-COVID
and
or
they
during
kept
COVID?
pushing the delivery. Like,
Yeah.
it's like a whole year out. Like, it was like, what the fuck? And I went on their website, and they're like, oh, check our newsletter. And there's no newsletter on their website to speak of. So I have no updates
It's
as
like,
to
I
when this
just,
fucking thing's coming.
got ripped off, thanks.
So I was starting to think that because I had to put this thing was so expensive, they force you to put down a deposit to guarantee that you're going to pre-order the thing. So I'm so happy to finally have it.
That's cool.
And then to round out my my haul, so we have the Brett, we have the Power Sword and Thor. But next up, from the Super 7 website, I actually pre-ordered these directly. And it seems like all my pre-orders are starting to come through simultaneously. But I'm a little more prepared this time around with my Ninja Turtles. I got the glow-in-the-dark edition Ninja Turtles from Super 7. Now, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I think Super 7 makes some of the finest action figures I have ever seen. I opened only one of the ones that I have purchased over the years, and that is the Disguise Raphael figure. And when I opened it up, number one, for the toy collectors out there, it's got some of the best new action figure smell I've smelled since the Toy Biz days, which is a brownie point as a collector. But they're really well made. The posability, the accessories, I think that they're top notch. I think that they beat out anybody else, including NECA, which I find that they're really
the NECA section.
They look really cool,
Jesus,
but they are fragile. So when you open up the box and like you display them and stuff, a lot of people complain that like their ankles are really weak or they'll snap and stuff like that, and then the figure's worthless.
Never
when
had
it's
the
broken.
makings of a
So-
varsity athlete.
Exactly. So this was the Leonardo. Next up, my second favorite turtle, Michelangelo. right there. That's probably the one I'm the most like. I've said it before, I'll say it again. There's a turtle that you like, and there's a turtle that you are like.
Accurate.
Turtle you want to be and the turtle that you are.
I want to be Leonardo. I am Michelangelo. Then there's Donatello, who does machines.
Kills it.
Very, very cool. I really, really need to find a place to display these specifically because
There is no.
I've got the
There's no
glow in
real
the
estate
dark.
anymore.
Here, and I don't see
No
any
more
Maybe
real
I'll
estate.
line them up on the back of the couch or something. I don't know.
It's dude. It's
Last but not least, Raphael.
my guy,
Very, very nice.
the last Ronin.
Super high quality. Actually, no, you're wrong. He is not the last Ronin.
What? Oh, who was the last Ronin?
Have you not read it?
I didn't read it all yet.
No, I'm not going to tell you. You can find out who the last Ronin is.
Oh.
But he's not Raphael, I'll tell you that much.
Shit. All right. Curveball.
It's the one you least respect.
So those glow in the dark.
These all glow in the dark. Uh-huh. So
a pitch
they've
black
made a
night.
few of the glow in the dark sets. Super 7 made a glow in the two different versions of the glow in the dark. Toxic Avenger. They had the cartoon version. They had the regular. They came out with Mutagen Man, which is in glow in the dark, which I have. I pre-ordered the Muck Man in glow in the dark, which I think is coming soon. I have
Muckman.
2 glow in the dark foot soldiers, and the only glow in the dark turtle figure that I haven't gotten, and I'm not going to get. They made a glow in the dark Baxter Stockman, who was the big bug scientist dude that looked like a fly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
He was like the first boss. in
he's the
fucking
one that
game.
actually creates all those little Mausers and all the little robots that they
robots?
fight all the time.
God.
So
Turtles in Time. That's all I'm thinking about right now.
Say your prayers, Tweedles.
Fucking like Jeff Goldblum's The
one.
Fly.
Oh man, but yeah.
God, that looks like shit.
So this is my little toy haul for
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Everyone hates this.
this time
Why does
around.
it look so bad?
The Power
always
Sword
have.
came in a cool box that kind of makes it look like it was a chest that came out of Castle Grayskull itself. A little book about the history of the Power Sword. I can't wait to have this like up on my wall because
Yeah, it came with the shield. and
the
everything. It's
weapons
cool.
that I have in my room are like all like full metal. I have the Ashbringer, which is the Tyrion Forging sword from World of Warcraft, and then I have the Mjolnir on top of my computer, which I also dubbed Mjolnir. So it'll be nice to have an actual metal He-Man sword to kind of match the
Look at
aesthetic.
Paul
there.
Heyman. I can't stand. Look at him. I'm sorry to interrupt, but he's just
Paul Heyman's
every time they
hysterical.
show Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman is just like fucking.
Paul Heyman has some of the greatest facial expressions.
yes,
that you'll ever
he was
see.
crying before.
all
He
of
had
wrestling.
this such a look of concern on
I
his face.
fucking love Paul Heyman. I really wish I could meet him. He is a fantastic storyteller. If
You could probably
just
do
li-
his voice too.
If you listen to him just sit there and tell a story about wrestling,
yeah,
he's amazing.
yeah, he's one of the.
Brock Lesnar.
He really puts his heart and soul into it.
Yeah,
Every one of the
man knows the
documentary
business,
things,
you know.
Yeah, he's 100%.
That's the thing for those watching. We are watching SmackDown
Yeah, he's got it on
Smackdown
in the background,
or,
and
back
just
Pat.
to keep you guys up to date, because I've been reading the captions. Roman just sent his one brother, because the one's missing. The guy Jay
the
walked
one
out.
that didn't want to beat up the other
Yeah,
guy.
So it's
they
three
don't know where he
brothers?
is. There's 3 brothers. There's the Usos, the 2 of them, and then their brother Solo, who joined later on.
Han?
So Solo and the one Jimmy, he told them to go to the bus, and that he was the cave.
The cave. Remember your failure at the cave.
He told them to go back to the bus. There's sushi and steaks. He's got to take care of business out here. So now he's coming down to the ring. We don't know what for. Probably to call out Jay. Tell him to come to the
But
ring.
that's my toy haul. What else we got on the agenda?
Jeez.
Well,
We're going to talk about Last of Us.
Last of Us.
That's
is-
gotta
right.
talk about the
Yeah,
Last of
yeah.
Us.
So the 3rd episode of Last of Us. Spoilers. We're going to talk about it. If you don't watch
Was
it
that
yet,
the
your
3rd or the
fault.
2nd only?
It's the 3rd episode they came
Bill.
out with. It's a Bill episode, so they did another creative license with the original story. In the
I wouldn't
game,
even- I wouldn't
you
even-
meet Bill. Bill's by himself, and the
Did
mission
you actually
is,
meet him, or do you just?
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
all right. So wait. Yeah. What?
I'm trying to remember what actually happened.
So in the game, Bill basically when Tessa's going to die, she tells you to go find Bill and Frank, just
Mhm.
like they do in the show.
Right.
When you get to Bill's, Bill doesn't know where Frank went. He
Frank
left. And there was a battery in a truck that crashed into the high school. So Bill takes you to the high school to where the vehicle is to try to get the battery so that they could drive to Wyoming and find his brother Tommy, because he used to be a Firefly, and that was their best chance at finding where the Fireflies are to deliver Ellie.
Bill's story was a little bit
Bill's
more...
story was not hashed out. He was by himself.
Well, that's not true.
Well, it wasn't as hashed out as this, where they're showing you like his whole relationship with Frank.
If you went around and you did all the collectibles and shit, which I think you platinumed it.
Well, the thing is, you find a note from Frank. Frank kills himself and literally leaves a note saying that he couldn't stand Bill. He fucking hated him.
Yep.
And you have the option of either giving the letter to Bill or not.
Yes.
I've done both. I've not given it to him,
Bill
and I've also
has,
given it to him.
Uh,
Bill won't
she
leave
finds,
the area.
What's her name? Finds a magazine that has like it's a guy on it.
It's a guy.
I remember her
magazine.
saying like, "Oh, the
Sticky.
pages are sticking together." I remember that.
So it's like a game.
That's
She
all.
made a joke
That's
about
all I
that. So
remember.
So there's a couple of
is that part.
There's an inference around
It's not
Bill.
that he wasn't gay. He was definitely gay. But the fact that like they made them actually in a relationship and like had a healthy relationship and that they died together, none of that happened.
So,
But
yeah,
it doesn't
them,
affect the story because you never see Bill again
every-
after they leave that area. So they ended it in the same way that he ends up with a truck and leaving that neighborhood.
Right.
But it was different in the game in the sense that it was Bill by himself. He was a miserable prick,
in the
and
game,
he ended up
it was,
alone anyway in the end.
In the game, it was like Bill was a character that helped Joel realize that he gives a shit about Ellie. It was all about the game is really hyper focused on the Joel and Ellie relationship because obviously you're playing as Joel. So Bill's like hyper negative, hyper defensive. He's very closed off. He's a very like paranoid character. He's just very negative. So when Joel gets there with Ellie, Joel is in that same almost mindset as Bill, where he's like. He's still, you can see it in the early parts of the show where Joel's so defensive. He doesn't want to let Ellie in. He doesn't want to know about her, obviously because of his daughter and the way things are. So, yeah, in the game, it's like Bill is someone that helps you as the player and the character Joel start to really care that, like, Ellie matters. Bill also helps you escape the town, and Joel's like, come with us, and Bill's like, no, fuck that, I'm
He's
staying.
like, no, I'm staying.
And you can kind of assume Bill probably dies because he's on like the outskirts of town, but you never know. Bill's like a hardcore survivalist, so
he sets bomb traps all
he's a
around the town and
badass
shit.
character in the game. It's all about how badass Bill is. He's that whole shit. He has it on lockdown. He's fought off raiders, he's fought off infected, and he's survived all that time. So people are pissed because obviously he dies. They really hash out the relationship between him and Frank. It's all about that. So it's like, I think people are just annoyed for a multitude of reasons. Of course, part of it's the emphasis on the fact that Bill was gay. I think that's probably one of the controversies.
I think it was
I
a
don't think it's
fantastic
fucking-
episode.
yeah,
I'm
exactly.
happier for Bill this way, like.
Yeah, it's a different send-off in
Yeah.
terms
I
of...
think Nick Offerman fucking killed it.
Oh
That's
yeah,
exa-
they
I
both
love
did.
it.
The
I
other
love
guy was in
it.
season 1 of White Lotus.
Yeah, he's the fucking...
He's like the clerk guy.
the
yeah.
clerk. He's so funny.
I forget his name. I should know it. I feel bad. I don't know it. But I thought it was, they did it. They
hashing out
took
a
me
character.
from being like, who the fuck are these guys,
Right.
to like kind of almost wanting to cry. In a short amount of time. They really,
They sell the...
whoa, there it is.
So we're watching...
Weiss. Oh my
Sami
God, I'm
Zayn
sorry. I've been
jump
watching
in
this with one eye. Sami Zayn's
and
attacking him.
Yeah,
I
he's
love that.
fighting
Fuck
Roman
yeah.
Reigns. Roman Reigns just got jumped
Wow,
by
I never
Zayn.
expected that. He's out there talking
He
shit.
looks pretty pissed off. Reigns is all dizzy
Wow,
up.
man, I wish I could hear the crowd right now. He's
Oh,
beating the
well,
shit
The
out of him.
champion's getting his ass kicked.
He's kicking
He's
out.
fighting back.
Yeah,
Reigns
it's gonna
is fighting
happen.
back.
He's not gonna get beat down by Sammy.
I don't know why it looks
Sick of that.
so soft. He should be like.
While we're on the
emphasizing
subject
kicks
of
more.
wrestling again, really quick, I just wanted to say rest in peace to Lanny Poffo.
That's
Yeah.
terribly sad.
Brother of Randy Savage, for those that
Savage, right.
don't know. He was leaping Lanny Poffo, the genius. He was a really, really sweet guy. I'm pretty sure I mentioned it on the show before, but I did have the honor of meeting him and talking to him at Niagara Falls Comic-Con a few years back when I
That
went
was special.
there and had some breakfast with him, and he asked me to co-host a Randy Savage lookalike contest with him and Mean Gene Okerlund, so I ended up doing that, so that was really cool.
Oh man.
I found a few like blurry pictures of the ordeal. I didn't think to get a picture with the man, at the time, and I was going to get it the next day, but it actually, sadly, it just so happened that that very weekend, the next day, his mother passed away, so he had to leave the con early. So Randy's mom passed away when we were at that con. So
Jeez.
I never got to see him again after that. But rest in peace, Lanny. You were
We're all together
a
now.
super nice guy, and now you get to be with your brother again. And while we were on the topic of video games, I just wanted to mention two things. Number one, Fallen Order, the sequel to Fallen Order, Jedi Survivor, is getting delayed. I think, what did they say? April 28th now is when it's getting pushed to.
Yeah,
or
it's
something
like
that.
late April.
So we have
They
that
said they
to
want
look
to
forward
polish.
to.
That's good. It's fine by me.
Gives more time to focus on other
Yeah.
things. I've been enjoying Monster Hunter personally. Me and cousin Joe
Yeah.
killing it on that SEAL Team. Yeah.
There is gold
Toby
going on the
Gadachi.
TV right now. Oh,
right,
shit.
so
They're
Toby.
back. Oh, no.
All right, so
Um,
Sami Zayn's gonna be
There is
ass
gold
kicked.
going on TV right now. This
Somebody's
is
gonna come
fucking
out and help
awesome.
him.
See, we're and
Maybe Cody will come out and that'll be a stable.
I don't think
Not yet. That's
this has been really good, dude. Sammy came out, attacked Roman, because Roman was saying that Sammy was greedy. He saw greed in his eyes, and then Sammy attacked him, and then fucking speared Roman Reigns. He speared him, which is Roman's move. That I thought was I couldn't believe that.
All right, so somehow they got a rope.
He
Cody
got
into
on the
this,
mic and
right?
said, "I never wanted anything from you. I never wanted anything, but now I do want something from you, and I'm coming for you." And then the brothers are attacking him now. Be great if Jay came and saved them. But
Some
I
more
guess
in video
he's-
game news. This is just a little blurb that I saw on the internet. Interestingly enough, PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo all won't be at E3 this year.
Yeah, E3's dead, right?
Like, what the hell?
E3's.
What's the
I
point
mean-
of having E3 then? If you're not going to have the
That's,
three biggest gaming companies in the entire world,
They're the
not
big
there.
studios. You know what? It's fine. It leaves
Unless
a
they're
lot,
going to do PC gaming, and
nah, it leaves a lot of room for the other guys.
unless
fine.
it's the developers that are really going
Nah.
to be.
Listen, as much as we
Centric.
think that all the games are made by those companies, like they're not. Those
No.
are main stable, like first parties. They're always the highest quality in turn. For the most
Now, do
part.
we take
whether-
the silence as there's nothing going on?
Those
or they have their own
guys,
shit that they're not keeping.
They're just
under
so
wraps?
big. They do like the Apple thing. We're just gonna do our own show. We're gonna
Yeah.
save it for us. We have so much. Like Microsoft, they have so fucking much. And with the whole COVID and everything, it just
But they usually
it'll-
throw like a little bone here and there and shit like that.
and
like,
they don't need
like Disney has D23, but they still like reveal Marvel shit at like other stuff. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing.
It leaves room for other developers.
They've always
to do
showed
it.
up
They're
before
gonna
and
sell.
at least had something to say at E3.
There hasn't even been like only this year was like conventions back. So leaves a lot of room for other guys, other developers that aren't owned by Sony, Microsoft, and we want to see that. I don't want to see everything that's owned by these companies because it gets like it's gonna get stagnant. I want to see Sony's thing, but let them. They can have their own fucking day a few weeks later when they're ready to show us Spider-Man 2 and.
I think Monday, if you got the bougie version, the new Harry Potter game is going to be available. So that'll be a single player game. So I'll be platinuming that.
Yeah, you will. Jeez. I feel terrible. I haven't even finished God of War.
It's really
but
funny.
I'm
You
definitely
know,
jumping in
Harry
on that.
Potter came out like right at the right time for me because I think I got the first 3 books for my 11th birthday.
No shit.
Like funny
I didn't
enough,
read
like
that
it was
shit
actually
till I
my
was in my
11th
20s.
birthday, and it was my Uncle Joe. My Uncle Joe was always like the forethinker. Like
I'll read that shit to
fucking,
my
like,
kids.
he got a
love
Furby
Harry
when
Potter.
nobody could get Furbies and donated it to a children's hospital. He got me my first iPod video.
I had a
my
Furby.
answer.
Those were great.
Those
And
are fucking annoying.
I had two Furbies. You put them
Jesus,
together and they
annoying
just start
pricks.
talking to each
I
other.
never had them, but I remember he got one when they were like the
Yeah,
Cabbage
this
Patch
really
dolls,
loud,
like, you couldn't get
obnoxious
'em.
fucking thing that just randomly goes off.
Yeah, it wasn't that loud. It was. I mean, it was.
It was a weird looking fucking thing. Though.
incessant,
You can't deny that. It was a weird looking thing.
Oh yeah, but you'd stick your finger in its mouth, you'd feed it,
Oh my
and be like,
God.
"Bop, bop."
Yeah, no. Not
Furby
for
was
me.
great, dude. I loved that fucking thing. And then I tried to feed it Cheerios and it broke.
Jesus. You know, that
Had to
reminds
feed it
me.
real food.
So, generational difference. I had a Teddy Ruxpin, which
Fuck's
is
that?
like, so Teddy Ruxpin is old school. It was a fucking big teddy bear, like maybe about this big, and he had a tape deck in his back. And he could talk to you and stuff, and his mouth would move to whatever.
I think I
But people
remember
would
that.
do funny shit, like put Biggie Smalls in there, and he'd be like fucking
Right,
rapping
right.
Biggie and shit. But I had
Tamagotchi.
that, and I tried feeding him a cookie and broke his mouth.
There you
so.
go. We all made our mistakes.
Tried to feed him.
What about
you know,
Tamagotchi? You have one of those? You remember
I
that?
didn't have a Tamagotchi, but I
Had the
do
gold
remember
one.
some of the old commercials. That was kind of the beginning of Pokemon, or at least when I
Yeah, it was
noticed
the same-
Pokemon, because it was the Tamagotchi Pikachu edition.
Oh, that would have
There was
been
a
fucking
Pikachu
cool. I never
edition
had
one.
that.
There was a commercial for that. It was Pokemon Pikachu, and it was like this whole thing. And then all of a sudden, the cards started getting really hot, and the cartoons started coming out, and like that
yeah.
was the big wave. But the first time I remember
cards
seeing like
over
a
here.
commercial specifically for Pokemon was that Tamagotchi Pokemon Pikachu.
Oh, Tamagotchi. I think it preceded that.
And I used
It
to
was
watch UPN
Was that
9,
was
and
in-
that's how I
oh,
used to watch.
UPN 9.
So
oh
back,
my god.
So before Pokemon hit UPN 9, it was Extreme Ghostbusters, Extreme Dinosaurs.
Pokemon was on UPN 9. It was on 11.
What about
like Warner Bros.
what
or
about that
something.
other shit, Beast Wars?
That's right, it was on 11.
On 11.
There was
UPN 9's like
UPN had-
Maury and like
No,
fucking.
UPN 9 had Beast Wars. It had fucking.
It had Beast Wars.
I forgot the other one was. What was that
UPN.
robot one?
Which one?
It wasn't called iRobot. It was called.
Iron Giant.
No, it was another. It
That was
was
a
like
movie.
that same animation as Beast Wars, but it was fucking. Damn. I
I'm
can't
trying
remember
to
it.
think now.
I'll find that shit. I looked it up. This has happened to me before, and I will find it. I know the name. It's
I
called
wonder if
something.
it started on UPN 9. I feel like
Had
for
to
some
be UPN.
reason, Pokemon started on UPN. It definitely
funny.
was on Channel 11.
It was on.
And the reason why I know it was on Channel 11 for sure is that my brother was interning at Channel 11 at the time because he went to school to be a journalist. And he was when he did the intern, they had like a Pokemon event, and he came home with like a binder with like a little slot with like a trainer bill card or some shit on it.
Wow.
And I ended up slipping that into my Pokemon binder and made that like the cover of my binder, that folder that he got me.
It really is something about Pokemon cards. It's just like fucking. It's like
It's
crack
fun because
once you
it's the
start.
mystery of the unknown. That's really what
Yeah.
it comes down to. And it's like the
Like
bragging
gambling.
rights of getting
It is
something that you
gambling.
have no
it's
right
definitely tearing away at my gambling
Finances, yeah.
addiction.
So speaking of Pokemon, do we want to open some of these packs?
Well, so let me
First, I
turn on
want
the logo here.
to shout out the Rip and Ship
Yeah, I got
Gaming.
the logo up.
This is the business that has been donating graciously the Pokemon cards to the show. They gave us one of the new Elite Trainer boxes. It's the Crown Zenith. You got a little what's his name? Lucario, right? Isn't that his
Lucario,
name?
yeah. You always get the Lucario card, but you can keep that because I have like 3 of those now. The
So
Lucario
we're
guy.
opening this live here.
So how are we gonna do this, Vin? Vin, are you trying to keep any of these Pokemon cards?
Keep them.
You want any of the spoils of war,
Sure.
or do you not give a shit?
No, I don't care.
Ding Sparkle Sparkle? I like the box. I think it's neat.
How many decks we got in that? I always forget. Is it 10 or is it 12?
About to find out. Let me see. Do-do-do.
It comes with
Look how
a
bright
nice.
that shot is. That's so funny. They have a night sky shot, and
Yeah.
the lights on all the buildings are so bright. It's
It looks cold. It just looks cold.
it's
with it.
9 degrees out right now. I just
Yeah.
looked. It
What is
9
going
degrees.
on? Gotta get some hand warmers.
Looks like we got 10 packs of cards.
10
10?
packs.
Jeez,
One
I
for
gotta.
me, one for you, one for me, one for you.
Take
one for me,
5.
one for you, one for me.
We're not gonna sit here and take forever to open these. We'll just open them up and see if there's
We'll
any
open 'em
cool
up.
ones. See what we got.
Right back.
Vin's being back, so we are gonna gorge ourselves on some of these. And there really is just nothing. Let's give some. What do they call it? ASMR or whatever.
Oh, the opening of the
Give 'em
pack.
a-
Yeah.
How do you like that, you sick fucks?
You
Like-
bastards.
You like the sound of... Oh, there's the wrapper opening.
Oh.
Let's,
Let's
see what we
the
got.
bougie ones.
Are we going to do the...
I got Roxanne and Sky
Roxanne.
Seal Stone. This thing.
Oh, these motherfuckers. Tell me they didn't give me... Oh, no, I got a holographic. I got Entei.
Who?
Entei.
Entei.
E-N-T-E-I.
Related to Gen A.
And then I got a non-holographic Drugalge. All right. So nothing.
Funny, she doesn't look Druish.
Give him some more of that.
All right,
That's
let's see.
put it up to let him hear it, dude.
You want to hear it?
Let him hear the.
Oh, what's inside? All right, come on, you fucking.
I mean, the thing with this, even if you're not into Pokemon, because I mean, I kind of wasn't for a while, but you cannot deny the market and the value of some of these cards.
Oh,
What
yeah.
they can sell for, it's ridiculous.
The art on some of these cards is really cool.
Rob,
What'd you get?
I got an alternative version of a Radiant Charizard.
Oh, very nice.
Very nice.
See, now you can't complain.
Well, I already have this one. Oh, wrong scene.
You fucked up.
I already do have. I have one of these, but I am very happy to have
Corphish
another.
and a non-holographic Zeraora.
You know,
What
it's
that
why
is.
that's what bothers me.
I
Is
don't
when
want
they
a
give you,
non-holographic.
when they give you these star cards, but they're not holographic. Yeah.
They're not an all-star.
All right. By the time we're done, Rob's gonna pull another fucking Giratina. I'm calling it.
Is
This
it
guy
part of
has the
this?
best luck.
Is Giratina part of the set?
I believe yes. Yeah.
Oh. Imagine I pull that card again.
If you pull it again,
That'd be
then
fucking amazing.
Give you a Radiant Charizard. Been trying to get that Giratina. All right, we're a couple of cards in.
Oh,
What do you get?
just like got gypped a
Oh,
fucking
it was a bad wow. I thought it was a
yeah
good wow.
Hoopa. I don't know who Hoopa is.
Hoopa's
And
pretty
a,
cool.
And a non-holographic scissor.
Sizor.
Yeah.
I have a holographic Sizor, and I have another holographic Entei, but it's the alternative part is holographic now. The other one, they have
Yeah,
like
that was the one. The Hoopa. I think it's a reverse holographic.
yeah. I don't know how I feel about those reverse holographics.
They're all right.
This Entei is pretty cool looking. All right. Moving through it. Anything? We're hoping for something good here. We're hoping for the pop.
4. I don't even know what I'm looking for in this. Ooh.
Uh-oh, he's smirking. He's got a shit-eating grin. What has he got? He's
I got a Rayquaza VMAX and a Lunatone.
Oh, I have that too. I think that
Yeah.
that is a good card, dude. Rayquaza. I think I have that.
Rayquaza. That's a full art
man,
card.
if
too,
I didn't
yeah.
have that already, I'd be like, Rob, you could have fucking. That is a good card.
Not
That's
bad.
fucking really good. Rayquaza.
Might
is
have
a
to
good,
throw that one in his sleeve. I'll have to ask Joe.
Yeah. Well, this comes with sleeves.
I know.
Oh no, never mind. I thought it was.
Failed. I'm
No,
scared.
it's still holographic. I just thought it was a purple energy. No, because they got holographic energy cards now. That's one of the cool
I
things.
know.
About
I have
this.
the leaf one. Remember?
I have 2 of those. I'm trying to get All right.
Oh shit!
What do you got?
This looks cool. Check out this Pikachu.
Wow, dude. Let me see that. That might be.
That's cool.
Pikachu's my boy, though.
Here's some
I like
ASMR
that. Yo,
for
that's the thing
crowd
too
here.
about some of these. They
It's
have
got, like,
really
a bunch
nice
of other
art.
Pokemon in there, though. That's what's cool. And then
Yeah.
I got a Luxio.
There you go.
What?
Yeah. But I think that's a cool one. That Pikachu, I'm really happy with
FBI
that one.
joins search for killer of New Jersey councilwoman. What?
Nanda?
I have Enamorous.
But that's a Pokemon
I
card.
guess the WWE.
Um,
Oh, I got one more deck here. Let's see. Maybe this is the big one. Let's get a drum roll
the
here.
big one.
Let's see what we got.
It's your big and Shenny.
It's fucking sick. We're grown men. But you know
Open
what?
up Pokemon card. We got free Pokemon cards. We complain
Yeah,
about.
exactly. Because he knows that we're going to want to go back for more. It's like a
Of
heroin
course.
dealer that fucking gives you free
Yep,
heroin
he's
so
like,
that you
here's
go
some
buy
crack,
and become
and we'll see you next week.
Yeah. not to liken
George
Joe to a
Santos,
heroin
Queen
dealer.
Office vandalized. Oh God.
I like that
At
Pikachu
the
card. That's cool.
VCR.
I got a Zerora.
And just to show off what else you get, of course, a little V-Star gimmick here. You get the little tokens that you always get. And this particular set comes with yellow dice.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yellow.
They come, some of them got some nice dice.
You got some nice dice there, Shenny.
So the what do you call it? The dragon guy. That's probably like the best card in this. The VMAX.
Which one?
The one you pulled. The what's his name? The VMAX guy. The
The
dragon.
Luxio? Not Luxio.
No. Rayquaza.
Rayquaza.
Yeah, Rayquaza's a good one, and then the Radiant Charizard also is.
It's a Radiant
It's
Charizard.
a good one because I'm building up my Charizard collection. I got a couple of good Charizards. So
Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Rip and Ship Gaming, for the generous donation of Pokemon cards.
yes,
I'm
I'm not gonna open these.
Needs, you can go on Rip and Ship Gaming.
Located Deer Park,
it's located in Deer Park.
right by the Dunkin'
Rip and
Donuts.
Ship, RIPNSHIP
Right by the Dunkin' Donuts.
arena.com. RipandShipArena.com is their website. So you can order online, have it delivered to home, or you can stop in Deer
And
Park and
they
come to the store.
do like gaming tournaments and stuff.
They
in
do
there, right?
Magic tournaments. They do Dungeons and Dragons some nights. They do Pokemon, of course, tournaments, and Yu-Gi-Oh as well.
Wow.
So any of the really tabletop gaming needs, they host stuff. And if there's something that you play and they aren't playing or hosting any tournaments for, you can reach out to them and they can create any kind of custom event that you might want to. So
It's nice. It
they're
gives
really
people a
good with
place
that
to
kind of
go.
yeah, it's a nice little
You know.
gathering hub. Hang out, get a Mountain
Social
Dew for
club.
$1. Go fuck yourself. It's great.
Yeah.
$110 on a Japanese card set, but then you make a $140 card pull. So
Yeah. So
When's a
I'm-
win?
that's what keeps you
When's a
going.
win?
I'm not gonna open these up on the show because we're not gonna subject you guys to that. But
So that
Just
yellow
say-
box is the one that I pulled the $140 card from. So
Yeah.
So
there's
this-
a possibility you can get the same.
this is from Japan.
Yep.
Japan-figures.com. Shout out to Gruffy.
Japan.
What's his actual tag? It's Gruffy, is it?
It's Gruffy.
It's
Gruffy. Great Pokemon card page.
Eric is the fucking man.
And he's always
Eric
pulling
is
his
the
great
man.
stuff. So I asked him, I'm like, where are you getting the cards from? And he said, Japan Figures. I saw this here. So I picked this up. You can pick this up at Rip and Ship as well. They have
They do
these.
the
and
Japanese ones too.
They have like the God mode card for this where it's like, I don't know. Rob could probably explain it better.
So there's a God pack, and all the cards you can line up and maybe form one big picture, and they're all foil cards. Like the entire pack is foil cards.
So cool.
Wow. Okay.
So there's a chance of pulling that, but it's really, really low. I think it's like, I don't know, it was like a 3% chance of pulling it or even less.
Sheesh. Crazy.
But I did not pull that, but I did pull the single most valuable card from that deck, which
Yes,
is,
he
what's
did.
his name
he got
again?
the Giratina.
Giratina.
Yeah, he's guy on the
Nice.
box, on the red box over there.
Yeah.
Me and Vin caught a couple of Giratinas.
But it's
Oh,
a
yeah.
super,
We got
super
both
gold
forms.
card. Like, it's so gold,
We
you
got the
almost can't
dinosaur
tell
one
what's in
and
the
the
I'm gonna
foil
have
one.
to. I'm gonna have to buy that from. You. 'Cause I've been trying to get that card.
All right,
Giratina,
might be making a deal here.
Well, what else is? I mean, we covered a lot of ground today. Was there anything else on the docket? I feel like there's one of the
We didn't even finish
Thorn.
talking about The Last of Us.
Last of Us. Yeah. So
yeah, well, I mean, we got a lot to look
I
forward
fucking
to.
loved him gathering all his shit, like when he was waiting for everybody to leave town. That shit was so funny because I feel like we've all thought like,
Oh,
if
yeah,
it was
yeah,
like the
yeah,
end of
yeah.
the world, I go to Walmart, I go
he
here,
just
I get
takes
all
all the gas.
Yeah,
He gets the
that
electric
shit's
on.
so
no, he
funny.
did exactly what everybody
He's
else
fucking
did.
in his basement. He's like, "Not today, you jackboot fuckers," whatever
You
he
New
said.
World Order jackboot fucks.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
watching the fucking the little closed
Scared to-
circuit televisions.
I was
Yeah.
kind of. I was
Best
a little
wine
confused.
that came. Oh, that Camus wine, by the way. He had a whole case of Camus, and that's just like $240 a bottle.
Oh yeah.
Fucking absolutely.
I love how he
money.
cooked
knew
them
what
the
to steal.
dinner, and it was like this 5-star dinner
straight
meal.
out of heaven. You almost didn't know you were in the apocalypse.
You know what, man? Like, fucking people could be homophobic or whatever, but I didn't look at it through that lens. I watched it and I thought like this is like a nice love story. It was a really
Would've
it was
been
a
fine
touching
if-
story.
yeah.
It's fucked up. I'm like, is he dead?
I
Then
mean,
they
if they're
fast
mad
forward,
about
he's not
that, where
dead.
do they
The other
find out
guys.
about Ellie? You know, that's all I'm saying.
What was wrong with?
Stupid.
I don't remember their names. What was wrong with the one guy who was like paralyzed and legs? Like I guess they didn't really tell you, right? He just had some kind of
Who's that?
the guy who lost like use of his legs.
In
What were they?
Last of Us?
Both of the guys. Yeah.
oh,
what
I
was
think
the
he
name?
got cancer.
No, yeah, he got cancer. They made him have leukemia in the show or something.
Is that what it
like-
was?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
okay.
There was
he
no
sick
cure
and
for
dying, and
because
it
that's why he was saying there was no cure
He
for
had
this
cancer
before the
and-
world went to shit.
Yeah,
So
he was
mm.
fucked. Poor guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
again,
it's-
and again in the game, it's just that you don't meet him, you never see him, you don't know anything.
You find
about
his
him.
body.
He
And
just
so-
leaves.
I think he hangs
and
himself.
he writes that letter, and he's like, "I fucking hate you. I'm killing myself because of you." Basically,
Yeah.
And he,
It's like a
and he
big
tells you
fuck
that he
you.
takes the battery that you're looking for.
Oh,
'Cause He
shit.
was even yelling about it when you get to the car. There's no battery in the car for the one that you were trying to get the
yeah,
battery
the
from.
truck. Yeah,
And
that's,
it's
so they
and
show
he's
that in the
like,
show.
so you find the battery and you find Frank's body.
Yeah, I thought it was fucking hilarious too. When they first have when they have that argument, you know, in the street, because that's just any relationship anyway.
Of
And then
course.
when it leads to fucking Joel being there having
Yeah,
fucking
he's just got the gun
lunch.
pointed at him the whole time.
oh, that was
that
great.
gun out of my face. Yeah, that's
he's
so
like, get
funny.
that gun out of my face. Da, 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 da.
Yeah,
But I
that-
love
that
it
show
too
was
because
good.
like sometimes when you can't see him and you just hear him talking, it's like the Mando. You
yeah,
just hear
oh
Mando walking around. It's like fuck yeah, Mando.
Joe.
Yeah,
So
Pedro
they're doing
Pascal's
a
killing
great
it,
job.
man. Every fucking
That's a-
show he's in is a fucking
Yeah,
success.
he's
It's a 10,
talk
man.
about winning everywhere he goes, man. He's so I,
mean,
have
we
a
knew
question.
that shit when we seen him in fucking Game of Thrones. When he walks on screen, in the
Nobody ever
that
heard-
What was
episode.
it?
I never heard of
Oberyn,
him.
right? That was his
You
name?
never
Oberyn
seen him
Martell.
before. Yeah, Oberyn Martell. You
Elia
never-
of Dorne.
Tell him I'm here.
Tell your
like,
father
you
I'm here.
Legit, he is magnetic. When he
Yeah.
came on the screen, it was like, oh, I like this
Here's
guy.
the thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Oberyn Martell was one of the few
He puts his
characters
hands
Red
to
that
the
Viper.
candle. It's like
I read
oh.
about him before seeing him. Like Game
Yeah,
of Thrones,
yeah.
I watched the
Oh,
first
yeah.
2 seasons,
Same.
read all the books. So Oberyn, I read about,
Yeah.
and then it's like, who's gonna
He even
play
played
him?
a fucking
And he
vampire on
nailed
Angel
it.
once
He-
or
yeah,
some shit.
he's-
There was
he
like a
nailed it.
picture of him.
So since then, it was just like, and since getting his head crushed, you just knew as a fan or whatever, I want to see this guy in more
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and he waited. You didn't see him in everything right away, but then he's doing Star Wars. Then he's doing, it's
When he
fucking
hit
like,
the scene as Mando,
Primo.
I was
It sucks that he's only gonna be, spoiler, fucking. If you didn't, all right, if you didn't play the games, I'm sorry, but
Mm.
we're gonna
Season
lose
two,
Joel.
we're gonna
Maybe
lose
not.
Joel, yeah.
If you haven't played the games, I'm sorry, but I don't.
Yeah, what have you
It's
been
not
doing?
the books. It's not like oh you had to read, but I do. Somebody at work asked me about this. John Noyes actually asked. Like he was at first kind of like why more or less was the question.
Why what?
Why the show? Why are they doing the show?
Oh,
And I said, well,
Why
listen,
not?
you got to understand. We
IP.
play the game. This is appealing to people who have never played the game. And
Gina
I
never
can't
played the game.
tell you how many people
She
have
never played the game.
fucking said, this is a 10. The show's the best show I've ever seen. And all I got to say is the game is better, and it lends the credibility to the fact that video game is the best medium for storytelling aside from books.
Yeah.
Books are the most detailed. Books have everything. But in a game, you can see everything that's laid out in a book. So this Harry Potter game, you're going to see everything. You can feel almost everything versus in a movie where it's condensed or even in a TV show where
Well,
it's
that's the
condensed.
thing
But
is, I feel like at least
Awesome.
thankfully we got
Well,
it
you
on
know how
TV
I am. When I
and
beat
not
a game,
movie.
I never play it again.
Yeah, me too.
With Last of Us Part 1, when they did the remaster, I played through the game 3
Yeah,
times.
I didn't, but
So
I might
I'm
now.
It's psyched that this is appealing to an audience that hasn't played the game. That those people don't care about any of the changes, so that's why the changes are good.
Well, so can we talk about some of the changes?
Yeah.
One of the most glaring changes, and I'm totally okay with it because they explained why. But one thing that I was wondering is
Spores.
the spores. It
Yes.
used to be that you had like spore areas.
Joe is upset about this. Yeah.
And like it was part of the game is mushroom mold spores like it it was part of
Yes.
everything, but they were explaining that when you're filming, first of all, to have all those particles around all the time would just
How do
be
you do
that
it
was some
visual-
shit, though, with
How
the
do you
money
do it
in
visually
Indonesia,
without
though.
a ton of visual effects? And this show
particles are
seems
one of the
driven-
hardest things to add in as like a
without it looking ridiculous.
like dust.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then it's just too unrealistic because of the way that it spreads.
We just went through an airborne pandemic, so there's no way to explain to an audience. The airborneness is only localized. It's a localized airborne. It's not everywhere.
Yeah.
It's
like
only
plumes.
here. And you're like, okay, that's in a game where you can
It
visually
makes sense
see
in the
it.
game. Yeah.
Everybody is always poking
And
holes
it's-
in everything
Joe-
that
Joe
we watch
did
nowadays.
Say, like, it's a great reveal. Like the way that Joel finds out that Ellie is immune is not through the bite or
Pedro
whatever.
Pascal's not putting
It's
on
that
another
her
mask.
mask gets broken because he puts a mask on her when they're going through one of those zones,
Yeah.
and it
that what it
breaks,
was?
and it's like, oh my god, and she's like, honestly, I'm fine. It's, but I wasn't supposed to tell you, but that doesn't matter.
Immune, yeah.
So that's like a cool.
But I like
way
how
to
it's
show
still
it, but
fungal based. It's still, now it's like the cordyceps and it's the whatever you want to
Tentacle
like
kind
the
of.
tentacle things. I think that's all right. I thought it was weird when the fucking zombie just
kissing?
decided to
Yeah,
like
that
make
was
out with Tess,
unnecessary.
the kiss of death. I thought that was kind of
Yeah, that
weird.
was kinda
Sometimes
stupid.
they want
But
to take.
it was very suspenseful that the Zippo wasn't lighting. I thought that was cool.
I thought she should have just pulled the fucking
gun.
pull a grenade.
the grenade.
They
That's
had
what I was
grenades
talking
everywhere.
about.
Just pick
There's
up a
grenades
grenade and
everywhere.
pull
Just
it.
Pull the grenade.
Yeah, pull the pin.
But,
why didn't you keep? One?
I guess maybe it was kind of
Because then they couldn't have that
Too
makeout
late.
scene with
Captain
Mrs.
Hindsight. Yeah.
Cordyceps.
So my question is,
Yeah,
why
but-
didn't she
They're
like she goes? So when she goes into the basement of like that room where he like puts the gun away, which I like that he did that. How he like
Oh, yeah, he's
justifies
like,
putting the gun away.
not,
He's
don't-
like,
not gonna have ammo for this.
yeah. But when she goes in the basement and there's like the guy down there and like she stabs him in the head or whatever, like why didn't she tell him?
Spill beer off.
Does that happen in the game? That she goes down there and finds a zombie? I forget.
No. They're just trying to show like the independent spirit of Ellie. Ellie's like always she clearly like
She had to pop that
is
cherry
by
of killing
herself.
a zombie, and like they'll show that as like a.
that's
plot
a good point
point,
too.
that's
I just
really what
spilled
it
beer
is.
all over myself, by the way. Sorry.
She never killed a zombie before, so like that was her first experience.
Yeah, but
Or at
then she
least
never
that we
said
know
nothing.
of, because don't forget
No,
she
she
had that
hasn't.
whole adventure in the mall with the girlfriend. That was the DLC. Remember that?
That's right. I didn't play that.
Oh.
That's a
That
part of
was
the remaster
fantastic,
too.
man. If
man,
you've
I
never played that,
should play
that
it.
really fleshes out more of the character, because she references her in like the main game, but you don't really know the story until you play it, because like it really resonates with you. Remember the part where like she puts the space helmet on and has like the
Yes.
whole
Oh, that's
experience
great.
with
Oh, my
that.
God.
So it's more of like that, where it's like innocent Ellie trying to like enjoy life with somebody that she truly cares about,
Yeah.
because that girl becomes a Firefly that she goes to that mall with.
Mm.
And like this is gonna be like
hate
their
that
last
name,
time hanging
Firefly.
out before like she goes off to another city as a Firefly, and Ellie's
think
gonna
of that
stay in the
stupid
city and
song?
shit. So like fleshing out that character, I think gives more of a character development to Ellie.
Why
And,
do they
like,
call them the
kinda-
Fireflies? What?
Well, there's all different factions.
Never
There's like
seen Firefly-
snakes
what do
in
you mean,
Florida
Firefly?
and shit. There's like
Why
all
are
kinds of.
do they carry a bunch of lights or something, or
No.
like they just?
They're all named
graffiti
after
that-
bugs and animals and shit. They just named it the Fireflies, and that's
What
their
are you
like
talking
symbol.
about
and shit.
actual fireflies?
No, I'm asking why,
Why
did
did they name
choose as a
themselves
game
Fireflies?
name?
They don't give you
the
that kind of answer.
Fireflies?
A light in the dark.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking was
Yeah.
like a light in the dark, but it's such
It's
a
always
cheesy
the-
name.
it's always
It
the
makes me think of that
simplest.
song by like
Why is the
fucking Owl
biker
City.
group called the Vipers? You know,
With the Vipers.
With the Vipers.
With the Vipers.
Yeah.
With the
I'm
Vipers.
actually dead in the middle of watching The Sopranos again, and
Oh, that's great.
Tony just got shot by Junior.
Oh
Spoiler
shit!
alert. So yeah, I've been trying to get Sam to
Gotcha.
watch that shit forever.
See
But
my
Oh, he's
Langa.
opening it.
I'm gonna just
you know,
casually.
casually
I've
open
been
them.
waiting
He
for.
can't. Yeah, he can't help himself. He's got.
I waited for weeks for what I could have gotten
What's
at
that?
Rip and
With
Ship
the Vipers.
instantaneously.
With
But
the
no, so
Vipers.
cap it off. The Last of Us is definitely a worthy,
They're doing a good job.
adaptation. It blows away anything like Halo or any other attempts at making video game. And I just think it's the fact that the game is just so fucking good. You can take exactly what's in the game, more or less, and paste it onto a show, and everyone's going to look at that and go, wow, what an amazing TV show.
Right.
Yeah.
The visuals, the cinematography, the color palette, the whole nine. Like, they really nail it.
You're gonna start seeing more games, I think, adapted into film. Like
Good
even,
ones.
Even with like Henry Cavill doing the Warhammer 40K, like that. That's a long standing story that hasn't really had like a true adaptation until.
The Witcher was a good one.
Witcher was another one.
I have
a lot of novels out there that they just haven't told those stories, man. You know,
unfortunately, Henry Cavill was also pissed at them because like they were like
deviating.
The people writing it didn't like.
Yeah, they're deviating from the original story. Yeah,
stupid fucks.
They never played the games. They never read the.
See what happens when you deviate and you think you're fucking smarter than the actual storyteller, like George Martin
understand
and
why
shit.
people
I
take
could
on
tell
these projects
George
when they want
Martin's
to tell their
story
own.
better than George Martin. No, you can't. Shut up. Sit down.
Make up your own fucking character
Yeah,
and your
you
own
can't.
story. Then
Stop.
Don't keep fucking stealing.
Better
from
than
other
George
shit.
Lucas. Shut the fuck up. You know? Yeah, you think so, but it don't play out that way. It's not how it works. That shit's so funny though. Everybody does think that they could tell a better story.
Look at that shit-eating grin. He's like, ooh, look at what did I get?
Gold
Yeah, let me
wrappers.
see one of those. I'll definitely open one of those. Those are fun.
The Japanese cards are really neat. Should I try to
I'm
pull a
like,
guillotine?
part of me doesn't want to open them because I don't
you
want
already
to
fucked it
expose
up.
them.
No, if you
It's
open
gonna-
the pack, you already fucked up the resale value because
No,
you can.
No, not that. I mean,
necessarily.
I just don't want
You
to
can sell those packs individually.
damage the
No,
cards.
those fucking. If you keep those sealed for 5 years and then you just turn around and sell them, it's like a
true.
big deal.
The whole
'Cause
thing, yeah. of
then
course,
everyone's
but-
buying the potential that there's something
yes,
good in
yes.
it.
But
Oh, $500.
I'm not doing that.
Eric
But
bought
my
a
point
bunch
is,
of
I don't
those.
want to damage the cards. I don't have. When I open these, I
like
immediately
gloves?
put them in the sleeves. Otherwise,
You
it's.
should be
I have a
wearing-
Radiant
I have,
Charizard.
you want jeweler's gloves? I literally have those at home.
I don't go that crazy. If some
should.
fucking
Bro, if you got those rated, they'll look at shit like that. If you want a 9 or a 10 on,
Like, oh, he touched it. That's it.
that's it.
Human hands.
It's 100% oils. There's oil. They'll look at it under a black light or
I
whatever.
always try to pick it up by the edges, but yeah.
Just saying, if you really want to, you're not gonna fucking resell them.
No, you're not going to get it graded either because it's not
one day.
financially worth grading.
Well, that's
at
the
least
thing,
that
is the
part.
grading.
Yeah,
You know,
the grading's crazy. Like, just it costs like $300 to get.
some cards aren't even a 10 in this packaging still. Like, that's the thing. You
That's
know,
insane.
Well, that's the thing is they can
That's-
come kind of damaged already.
Yeah.
You know, and then it's
if you
really
look at some of the
much-
Japanese
cool,
packs,
But I
especially
think
if they
I
get
think
shipped.
if you put it directly
$100,
into a sleeve and you tuck it away and you don't fuck around with
Of
it,
course,
you'll be fine.
Of course. As long as you don't have frilled edges and
Right.
all sorts of
Water damage.
I also
Fucking A.
I wish they would do a fucking equivalent game. Or at least I hope they do an equivalent game to Marvel Snap with Pokemon. Cause
Yeah, you were
I
saying
love
that.
the cards, and I've
Just
showed
a digital
you just
version of the card game.
Yeah, I've showed you just a glance at the cards, the collections.
Yeah,
the
you could use
variants.
the what is it, the parallax or whatever effect they call it, like when
Yeah,
you,
yeah, exactly.
you
Yeah,
know,
there's
to
the
make it
3D
holographic.
and all that shit. Yeah, it's pretty neat. I think it's a good format for a mobile game, and I think I love the Pokemon cards, but it's hard to buy all these fucking things. It's hard to.
You don't want to play with them
maintain
after you open them.
Yeah, you don't get to really touch them. It's like, oh, cool, saw it once, put it in. Whereas digital versions, at least it's
like Marvel Snap and all that stuff. You guys,
Yeah, you
been
get to see it.
killing
I'm gonna
it.
open
fuck
one
with it.
pack.
Oh,
Fucking
you
just
can
one
open
pack. You can open one
I
pack.
really don't want
I
to
don't-
expose these and damage them, and I want to put them directly into a protector.
He pulls the
but-
God
I don't
pack.
care.
Well, you
that
got
much.
protectors over there, so actually I
Yeah,
could
I got
put
those
one in
sleeves.
there.
I got
but-
the Pokemon condoms.
No, I like organize these by like color and shit. I have like
I imagine.
very-
And then there's me. I got a bunch of fucking random mishmash boxes. Shit might be worth something or not. I don't know.
Yeah, there's just thousands of dollars strewn about.
Strewn.
That's how this place is.
what's cool though too
Strong.
is the Japanese
Where?
ones look
Everywhere.
different.
You don't know what that's worth
Yeah,
over
they got
there.
a
That whole
different-
all the shelf over there.
I
that
already
shelf,
I
yeah,
just
it's
saw a very holographic card.
It's decent. What?
That's probably good.
Leafeon
Oh, that's a good
V-Star,
one. That's cool.
Is that the one I have or no?
and I don't know.
Holographic.
Oh, and that looks like Moltres.
Is that the black
Moltres.
one?
Holy
Valerian
shit!
Moltres?
Are all of these like holographic? What the fuck?
Did you pull
That's
the
a
God
cool one.
pack?
Is that
There's multiple
Gengar?
holographics.
Oh yeah, with the Japanese sets, you get more holographics per pack.
What? What is this
Let me
shit?
see.
I mean, how much
like
you paid
a-
for? You better get holographics. Like what
Oh,
the
that's
fuck?
I
Dude, I
have
got a
that one.
Gengar,
Marby. Yeah, that's a good.
And they
Gengar.
have,
I
like,
Gengar.
I got that
edges.
Gengar too.
they're like holographic edges.
Yep.
Moltres, Leafeon, and then I guess that's the last of the holographics.
Fuck yeah, they're great.
All right, this is gonna be fun, but again, I'm not gonna subject our viewers
No.
to.
But I
No.
think we
kind of hit
we
on
kinda
all of
wrapped,
our
you know,
topics.
Yeah.
um
What do we
What are
got
we
coming
looking
up?
forward
we
to?
got
Yeah,
I mean
there's
in
a
a
lot
week
coming up.
in a week
Harry
and
Potter.
what is
Harry
it? A week
Potter.
and 4 days. You got Valentine's Day. Years
Oh god.
flying by already.
Jesus, I know.
Fucking
Stop.
we're
I gotta buy. I was
Almost a
looking
week
at shit
into
yesterday. I
February
should have bought
already.
it all
I just bought
yesterday, but
Christmas gifts.
I was like waiting on my paycheck, and I was like, I'll buy it later.
All right.
So
single life.
yeah. Hey, listen. It's
More money for
cheaper
Pokemon
life.
cards.
You know, we got the toy hall, the wrestling. We got
I
March
can't wait for the Harry
7th,
Potter
we're gonna be-
shit.
WrestleMania.
I can't wait for fucking Ant-Man. I'm hyped for Ant-Man, so I'm not like bringing it up a lot, but that's the 16th.
Make sure you take off for 420 because I got hired by Blue Point Brewery again for the 420 festival.
Fucking job.
So that'll be
Nice.
fun.
I need to take off so many days, but I also need to make money. It's crazy. How that
true.
works.
I'm sitting on
It's
100
coming up.
hours of vacation time right now.
It's a fine balance between living your life and affording it.
Yeah.
But once again, I want to thank everybody for tuning into the Break Room Podcast. We love you
Oh, yeah.
guys.
Want to thank Rip and Chip Arena.
Thank you, Rip and Chip Arena, for the generous Pokemon card donation. Thanks
yes.
to Milo Toys and Collectibles for this cool fucking thing. Thanks for
Blast from
the Past for the Bret Hart standee. And I vow we are going to find a Shawn Michaels cutout, and we're going to put it.
Oh yeah.
We have to.
Oh
We
yeah.
have to.
Yeah. For when Joe can't make
We have
it.
to. We have to balance out the duality so that So when you're not here, we'll put him there, and
Yeah.
No,
That'll
vice
never
versa.
happen.
We're gonna put Sean there and Joey in here. So sorry.
That's it.
Joe. Sorry,
That's
Joe.
it.
And then Brett
But,
when Chris ain't here, but that doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen because Chris runs.
I
the
haven't
show.
missed a show yet.
Nope.
Kind of
Not yet.
Keeps us live. Keeps us online here.
trying my best.
But thank you guys for tuning into the Break Room Podcast. Snoochie Boochies, and may the force be with you.